everybody.
Hello, somebody, anybody out there. We don't know if anybody is there yet. So
No,
we're just kind of talking to ourselves for a few moments until
somebody
somebody
shows
pops
up.
in. But then, of course,
Somebody's
yeah,
there.
somebody's
One
there.
person.
They can chime
Yay.
in.
Let us know if you see us, if you hear us.
Yes, please do. If you can see and hear us clearly, and we're using a new service, so the format should be a little different. We'd like to know if it looks or sounds better if you've done this with us
Yeah.
before.
Or if you notice, because you might not notice.
Because we do try to give the
Yeah.
best presentations that we can.
Yeah,
When we
give good quality. We want
do,
good quality
yeah, we
presentations.
try.
So,
Because we've had some
yeah.
choppy ones before, and that's not that great, and that is not our intention.
Yeah.
But and of course we'll prattle on anyways because somebody will watch this after the fact. They'll come
Mm-hmm.
back and they'll watch it after the live stream is over. There are people that do that.
Yeah, they are.
And of course tonight we will be talking primarily comic books. We're going to try to do some more
Hey, Black Knight.
lives. Yeah, Black Knight is here.
How
And
are
of course, Black
you?
Knight also has his own channel where he does like toy hunting. Black Knight likes to
He
hit up,
be hunting.
yeah, hits up Ross and I don't know if you have an Ollie's near you.
I think
Black
he
Knight
said he didn't have
didn't have
one,
one.
but he goes to Target and Walmart and Ross and all those places, get a lot of GI Joes. So,
Just Jeff,
hey, Just
and he
Jeff.
says he saw Safari Adventure Toys in store today. Really?
Oh wow.
Who
Okay.
had Safari? Because you never see that stuff.
Mm.
The Mark's Safari Adventure stuff. So it's an obscure line from back when big game hunting was still like really a thing in the 70s.
Yeah.
Oh, Black Knight says they got an Ollie's now. Okay,
Oh,
so
good. Yeah.
you'll have to keep an eye out because stuff rock bottoms out at the Ollie's. This
Yeah.
is super
And
cheap.
they kind of backing off, I think, of that comic book bundle because the
They used to
last
do that a
time
lot.
we went, we didn't really see much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think because then it's always open and people take stuff out. Hey,
Yeah, they pick
Gilgamesh.
through them.
Yeah,
Even
they
though you
pick
can
through.
see what's in there through their damn bag. You don't have to
You
open it.
not really.
Yeah, you can do it.
You got to do some finagling.
I'll
but
finagle. But yeah, Gilgamesh is here. Who else is joining us today? Degs says,
Deg's Toy Den.
are you seeing Dune 2? No. I didn't see the first one.
Oh yeah.
I've seen the original one, and I've seen the one with Patrick Stewart, and I've seen the made for TV version that was from the Sci-Fi Channel. I've never seen any of the modern ones.
If it comes out on one of the free services we have or Amazon Prime, we'll watch it. But if we have to pay for it, no. Dallas Rich's Toys in Plano, Texas, man. I see them online a lot. They have a YouTube page, and I see them on eBay a lot. And they got a big shipment of some stuff, and they sent it all to get graded. They had got those mass figures. You remember when they had those mass figures?
They're kind of expensive.
A couple of years back.
I think, yeah.
Well, they grade all their stuff.
Ray is here.
Hey, Ray.
And Hank.
Hey.
And he says, how you doing? It's been a while since I caught a stream. Yeah, we're going to try to do it a little bit more often. And again,
did you say hey to Robert? Hey, Robert.
Yeah, I believe I did. Oh, did I overlook Robert?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It says, you're here. Awesome. Much love to you both. Good seeing you. I figured be at some con. No, not for a few weeks. Because we have the Joe Lantis coming up, right? Is it Joe Lanta or Toy Lanta?
Toy Lanta.
Toy Lantis coming up in like 3 weeks, something like that.
So we got to save.
We'll be going there. We'll be going there, and we'll be filming. And there is David. David is joining us today.
Hey, David.
David McKell. And let me see. Gilgamesh is don't know if you'd be interested. There's a comic toy shop that's opened recently in Commerce.
Okay.
I'm probably going to check it out tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Well, send us the name of it.
Okay. And Jeff says he picked up a slingshot and some Mythic Legion action packs and the NECA Aliens accessory set. Okay.
That sounds fun.
And what was that? One more here. Degs says, am I buying the Funko Project Fred thing for $295?
Ooh.
No.
$295.
No.
Nerd
Just Jeff.
I know that one. Those are those guys. I think that's the one. Those guys that we see at the shows all the time. I think that's their shop. I think we see them at the show and buy from them often. And we we film them and talk to them a lot. If that's the right one. And the last time we were at a show was right before they were about to open, and they talked about the name of the show, where it is, the address, and all of that.
Yeah.
But I think that's them.
And K
Hey,
Munion's
K
here.
Munin, how are you?
Said, great to see us doing another live stream. We're going to try to do more often. And for those of you who have seen our live streams before, the question for the moment is, do we look and sound any different? Do we look and sound better? Because we switched the service.
Mm-hmm.
As we were using StreamYard, and this is Restream, and we're trying to give the best possible presentation
Yeah.
for what we're able to do.
Yeah.
And Black Knight wants to know if you're getting the Wizard of Oz pops.
I am gonna get a Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get them in the store though, because I want to see if they go on sale. But I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to, because I tried to go online and a lot of it was sold out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would like them, and I will attempt to get as many of them as I can. So who knows?
And Robert says you look cold, and he says he liked the tour of the strawberry shortcake stuff.
I'm always cold, Robert. It doesn't matter what time of year it is, what the temperature is. If I'm in the house, I'm cold. I usually got on a jacket, a sweater. I'm bundled up in a blanket while we watch TV. You know, so you can't go by that. But I am cold. It was cold this weekend.
Yeah.
If we wasn't down here, the fireplace would be roaring.
She loves the fireplace.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it got chilly because it was 70 degrees, and then it got cold, and then next week it's supposed to be back up in the 70s.
Ray says this is his first time joining a chat.
Oh, well, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. We have a bunch of people saying that it looks and finds good.
Okay.
It looks and sounds good.
Okay.
Now,
well, we actually got
a
something.
theme. We have a few ideas. We're going to try to do more live streams here, and we have some ideas we're kicking around. And one thing that I thought would be really interesting, because I have something that I picked up recently, and this is one of the original comic price guides. And this is it says comic and science fiction books, original retail price, $9.95. And this one was on sale for $4.98. And this is the 4th edition, 1981. And I thought it would be interesting to see what some of our favorite books, and you guys as well, any comic collectors watching tonight, what do you think the book, your grail book, the book that you would live, breathe, and die for, because it's insanely expensive.
In reverse. I thought you had fixed that.
We're backwards.
Yeah, you got to do the mirror.
Where is that?
I think it's under settings. Give us a second.
Yeah, let me see here.
In the video, I think. Here.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
So
how now does that look? Up. Well, you got to hold up the book. Now it's right.
There. Is that working now, guys?
Yeah.
And David says local toy shop got a new building and did a grand opening. Ooh. It was very nice, but my goodness, the prices on vintage was very expensive. And you see that a lot.
Yeah.
You see that a lot.
Yeah.
And yes, absolutely, Hobo is still around. Hobo doesn't leave the porch unless he has to go to the bathroom. Hobo and Dad are always on the porch.
And Hobo sleeps in the habitat with the kittens.
Yeah.
And he sleeps on top of the kittens. So they sleep under him.
They sleep in a big heap.
Yeah, and he's on top.
But anyways, I thought that would be interesting. Yeah. I have this edition. Again, this is the 1981 edition, the 4th edition, which is hilarious. It's hilarious because when this first started rolling out, the comic community and dealers and everybody was like, you people are out of your mind. These prices are insane. Nobody pays this much for comic books. And now it's the standard.
Yeah.
And I've also got the 1989 guide. And this was actually my first Overstreet, was the 1989 edition. The first time I bought one of these was 1989. And I picked both of these up recently in a big lot of paper type stuff, paper rania, or
Yeah.
however they call it. It had vintage postcards and old like 60s 16 magazines and stuff like that. It was great. And I thought that would be fun or interesting, anyways, from a historical value,
Mm-hmm.
to ask people, hey, if you're comic collectors, and even if you're not and you're curious, call out a comic book. It's interactive, interactive participation. Call out a book,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
Yeah, like an example, I just opened it and it fell on Green Lantern, Green Arrow 87.
Yeah.
That's the first John Stewart.
Okay.
What? How much is that?
87.
Mm-hmm.
$7.
$7.
But this is
1981 prices.
yes. Robert says, is there a 2023 price guide for comics? They make one every year since the mid 70s. And so, yeah, if you got a book you're curious about, call it out. And there's only two scales. They have good, very good, and mint. So roughly a 4.0 or a 9.8 is the only reference, and everything may not be in here because you see how
Yeah,
much
that's
how
the
much it grew in just a few years here. And this is not even a modern book. Both of these books are vintage versions.
yeah, because we were looking it up earlier and we looked up Detective Comics 27.
Detective Comics 27, of course, the first appearance of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And the last sale of the first appearance of Batman was a 6.5, sold for $1,740,000.
Mm-hmm.
And in here, what was it? Oh, you go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna look at some of the comments while you're doing. Jesse
Yeah.
say what? Just called us. I mean, just came in. Sorry. And Ray, I have some key Spider-Man and X-Men issues from the 80s. Yeah. You gotta grow that collection. How about Werewolf by Night number 32? That's the
Okay.
Moon Knight.
Here it is. In that grade,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been like about $3,000.
That's the Detective Comics
Yeah.
27.
It just sold for $1,740,000.
Yeah.
In an auction a couple of years ago, in a 6.5. According to this, if it was a 9.8, it would have been 4,000. If it was a 4.0, it would have been $2,500 in 1981.
Werewolf by Night 32.
The Werewolf by Night number 32.
Yeah, that's I think the first appearance of Moon Knight.
Uh-huh.
David and LPH, I recently cut back on collecting a lot due to items I collect being hard to find in my area. So I just gonna start picking items up once or twice a year at shows. It seems easier, yeah, because um it's harder to find. Well, if you want to buy everything exclusively um at a show, live,
Uh-huh.
not online. Because we met a guy some years back. He was a big time funk. Oh, go ahead, and then I'll finish. Go ahead.
Werewolf by Night number 32. First appearance of Moon Knight,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
40 cents.
Huh? That's the one that I need.
40 cents, and that's in 9.8. In standard grade, 25 cents. 25 cents, 1981.
Raccoon Eyes is here. Hey, Raccoon Eyes. Golly, that's the one that I need
know.
to
I wonder by
finish
comparison.
up my collection.
I'll look it up in 1989.
Okay, why are you looking it up?
Yeah,
But
please.
we met a guy. He was a Funko Pop collector. He wouldn't buy a Funko Pop online, so he would go and travel just to buy it in person. But yeah, I cut back. I mean, the price and looking for it online, it's a lot. So it's fun finding it
Oh my
at a
God.
show. Go ahead.
1989.
Mm-hmm.
Werewolf by Night number 37, 9/8, $2.50. Oh, that's fantastic.
Hey FX,
Hey,
how are
FX.
you?
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us today.
Let's see. Robert said, David, you seem more knowledgeable on the comic grading. I don't know about that stuff. I just like a decent copy I can read. Really surprised you don't pick up the digest or large annuals.
Uh-huh. And Raccoon says they have Werewolf by
Oh,
Night 32.
man.
They paid $15 for it in the 90s. So anybody
Yeah.
else is curious, want to call something out here,
Yeah, just
and
let
I'll
us
go
know.
ahead and look it up. And this has also science fiction books printed in here, like Edgar Rice Burroughs and basically all these like dime novels kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they dropped that at some point. They didn't
And
carry
then
it
just
anymore.
went straight to
And it's going to be a thing again because CGC is now grading those books.
Mm-hmm.
Those little dime novels,
Yeah,
and things like that, like Tarzan and the little pulp fiction novels.
mm-hmm.
You know the type.
Yeah.
Like hand me that GI Joe there.
Oh yeah, we found
Yeah,
this today
found this today
at an antique mall.
Yeah, it's a GI Joe novel from the 80s.
That's a novel. I
Yeah,
don't know if
it's
I
a
would
it's
call that a novel.
there's hardly any art in here. See, it's like that. It's text.
Yeah.
But CGC's grading this kind of stuff now, so that's going to get to be
Aren't
a
they
thing.
grading cassette tapes?
They're no video game cartridges, VHS cassettes, magazines, since they already did that anyways. And I don't know if they're doing other stuff because I know that grading cassette tapes and grading vinyl records is a thing now.
Yeah.
Also,
Somebody want Fantastic Four. What's that?
62. Fantastic Four.
But
62.
yeah, Funko Pops. Yeah, they damage pretty easy.
Yeah.
And I know Amazon is getting better with shipping them. They're starting to ship it in the individual boxes and then putting that box in a box because I know I'm the one that I send that stuff back if it comes in damaged. I'll send it back. Go ahead.
1981,
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Four, number 62. 9/8, $4.
Wow.
In crappy condition, $1.75.
What's the significance of 92?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember.
Oh,
I'll look it up. I'll look it up in the 1989.
Okay, I like to get that CGC, but it's the most expensive thing I own, and I'm afraid to let it out of my hands. Like, yeah, and then you hear horror stories about CGC. They'll rip the cover of your book off and stuff like that.
It's rare that happens, but it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
In 1989, the 1989 edition,
Mm-hmm.
it's 62 is $8 in top grade. $8.
$8.
Yeah, and in the mid grade, it would be $4. So it doubled in value from 1981 to 1989.
But this is all before grading.
That's true.
I think grading
pushed it a lot.
Yeah, when CGC came along and started grading stuff, it's people started getting this idea. Oh, well, now it's graded. Now I can just throw the price up all over the place. Yeah, and then you got some shock people. Yes, it's like
Yujiro. Robert says he likes the Pick Your Adventure books. We had two choices, always had superhero sci-fi. I always picked the Aliens Choose Your Path books. I always kept dying in those books.
But yeah, but CGC I think changed a lot. Now they're having a lot of issues. And I saw something they're going to start grading. Well, I think it was those dime books.
Yeah, they're going to start grading the pulp.
The pulp now.
Yeah.
So you got Funko Pops being graded, vinyl records, CDs, VCR tapes, and I'm sure DVDs can be done.
How about the most famous comic book in history?
What Action Comics?
Action Comics number one.
Mm-hmm.
First appearance of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
In 1981, a 9/8 copy.
Mm-hmm.
$9,000.
The last one, one just sold recently, wasn't it?
It
Like
was like
6,000.
it.
I mean 6 million.
I think 6,000. I'll take it. I'll sell the house. I'll sell the car. But
What house you gonna sell?
I don't know.
Not the one I
But
live in.
anyways, I think recently it was like a 9.0.
Yeah.
Somebody, maybe somebody here knows better than I do. It was like a 9.0, and it sold in the millions.
Yeah, it was like
over
6
two. It was
million.
over $2 million.
Oh,
Oh,
2
there's
million.
Stone Sour.
Hey, Stone Sour.
So a 4.0 would be 3,500, and a 9.8 would be $9,000. And this is why a lot of dealers and other people are like, nobody pays that much for Action Comics #1. You're out of your minds.
Yeah, well.
And then in the 1989 edition, you see what it says about Action Comics in 1989 here. See if it went up any. I'm sure it had to have gone up a little bit.
No, video games and cassette tapes are being graded now, and VCR tapes are being graded. All that stuff is being graded. So yeah, you heard right.
This it had a big jump. So in 1989, in a 9.8 or thereabouts, according to the Overstreet, then Action Comics #1 should have gotten 30,000. And
it's starting to go up.
Yeah, and then 4.0 would be about $4,600, as opposed to about $1 million, which is what you would pay for it now in that condition. It had a huge jump. And exactly, David says, imagine having comic books to retire off of. Yeah, if you bought that stuff when you were a kid and it wasn't nothing.
But I mean, I don't know. Even if I had $1 million, I mean, to just spend, I don't know if I would buy a comic book.
Yeah.
If I won a lottery, like the $900 million lottery, and then they take out taxes, and I got 300 million left.
Yeah. That's about how that works, by the way.
I still don't think. I mean, I can see spending $1 million on comics with a S. You know, you get like a lot, but on one, I don't know about
that's
one
what you do.
book.
You win hundreds of millions of dollars. You buy 10 cars.
No.
You buy Action Comics #1.
No.
And you buy a women's wrestling team.
This one guy.
That's a true story.
Yeah, this one guy, he because we watched how the lottery changed my life.
Ruined it.
And this boy, he was a boy. He was like 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
And he bought his parents a house, and then he bought a women's wrestling team. He lost everything but the house.
Yeah.
And he moved in with his parents.
Oh my God.
Video games can go for a lot now, but it's mostly older games like the 80s games.
Because all of that was opened.
Good point. No way I would buy any
Not
comics.
Something that's millions of dollars.
No.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't say no way I would buy any comic. I would buy some, but again, I wouldn't spend $1 million on one comic. If I bought comics valuing $1 million, it's going to be like thousands and thousands of comics in that for that $1 million. It's not going to be one book. You know.
All right, here's one that everybody knows. And again, it's interactive. If you have a book you would like to know what the value was, put it in the comments and I'll look it up. Now, 1989 edition. Here's one everybody knows. Amazing Spider-Man 300.
Oh, I thought that was a 2000 book or a 90s book.
No, 80s.
Was it?
Yeah, it's Copper Age. 300, last black costume because he becomes Venom. 300's like the first full appearance of Venom, right? That's why it's so significant and so valuable. And it would not be in this edition, but it's in here. So you know what they try to get if you go to comic shows. You know what they try to get for that book. In 1989. According to the Overstreet, in a 9.8, it shouldn't be more than $3.50. $3.50. Robert wants to know any plans to show more collection tours or at least bits of it. Really enjoy those. Curious about anyone in chat would want to see specific collection from David or LPH. Yeah, we're gonna keep doing like snippets, and
Yeah.
also the next unboxing is gonna be a live unboxing.
Yeah, we're gonna do a
Yeah.
live unboxing.
Yeah,
If I had to invest $1 million, it would be in gold.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
I'm all about that, K-Mune. I would spend some on comics and the rest on the stock market.
Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would buy some comics and some toys.
Uh-huh.
I would set aside, like, if you won
An allowance.
yeah, an
Yeah.
allowance. If you won after taxes $300 million,
Mm-hmm.
I would take $1 million out for myself to do what I want for myself. And David will get $1 million or a little bit less. And
Hey.
we invest the rest. But you have that because people are gonna splurge anyway.
Sure.
So you might as well
But put a blinders on. Set a limit and stick to it.
yeah, but if you at least put a I'm gonna get it. If you at least give yourself that space, you probably won't go over. But I would buy some toys. I would buy some comics. If anything, I get the annual service of reading comics online. I'm not a fan of that. I know some people do it though, and that is a service.
Oh, and there's Reston.
Hey, Reston.
And Robert says, Motu collection, did you get knockoffs or third party?
I don't have. Well,
you got
yeah,
those two.
I got
You
some.
get those two bootlegs.
Yeah, I do. From a guy in England. He does.
No, not those. The Mexican
Oh
bootlegs.
yeah, the Mexican
that
bootlegs.
came
Yeah.
from Rolo.
Mm-hmm. A lot of celebrities are toy and comic collectors, and they buy these things from auctions. I recently watched a documentary last year about celebrity collectors. Okay. Let me see.
Yeah, that's how Nicolas Cage had that Superman that somebody stole from.
He got it back though.
It eventually turned back up again, and he ended up having to sell it anyways.
Yeah,
because he's one of those people. He spends every dime he's got, and then he's got to sell it all, and then do.
But he buy
crappy
weird
film.
things though, like dinosaur bones. Hey, King Panther.
Yep, he says. I was deep in Mondo until the bad quality control with the past figures. I've been fortunate with no issues. Anyhow, Beastman is amazing and massive. Okay, it looks good.
Yeah,
it looked
does.
good, and I was really feeling the line. But again, my personal preference.
Hey, William.
It was the third. It was the third release in a row with mechanical problems. Because there was problems with the Hordak, with the She-Ra, and then with that anniversary He-Man, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna back off. Plus, they're coming out more and more frequently now. It's hard to keep up. I don't know, Facsimile editions. I mean, because reprints in the past have a value, but again, it's tough to find those in great shape. It really is. Most of these Facsimile editions, people are slabbing them. They're not reading them.
Yeah, Larry Atomic Fallen made
a figure of himself. Yeah, and barefoot. Does he draw with his feet? I'm curious. And T. Stewart, he says I look like an evildoer with the Zod beard. No, you know what it is? It's my Charlton Heston Moses look.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
He'll get all the Mayfex figures and
Mezco and SH Figure Arts. Yeah, Charlton Heston for Moses. And you know what he says?
What?
Those who will not live by the law shall die by the law.
Lord have
That's
mercy.
right. Go ahead.
I did get the Mondo Beastman, and I say this he's amazing looking, tons of detail, but his waist and hip joints are weird
proportions. Yeah,
they stuff look good. David got a lot of them, but he wasn't. I think if that He-Man didn't break, you probably would have still been.
And not just that mine broke, but that most of them did. They had to take a lot of returns. And
they lost a lot of money.
They lost a lot of money on that. They had to take a lot of returns. Also on the She-Ra, because they were packaged incorrectly, and I don't know how many 20 or 25% of them, the face was crushed in the package, and
Oh my
the nose was all bent to the side and everything, and they had to replace the heads, and many of them were missing accessories. So you're getting her with no power sword, or something else is missing. It's like, Mondo, what the hell? And
they're moving too fast.
Yeah, and then the Hordak again, and I still have my Hordak. I kept him, but his hands, they fall out all the time. They don't stay in.
No, we don't play the lottery often. I mean, I know we always say we want to win the lottery, but we'll never win because we never play. So, you know, no, we don't play. I mean, if it reaches $1 billion, sometime we'll play, but we don't really play.
Yeah, and then Ray talking about smashing the stone tablet. So I don't have anything to break. I'm not smashing anything in here. And Panther says if he won the lottery, he'd donate to Animal Big Cat Conservations, help family and less fortunate, support the channel so it runs indefinitely. Oh, thank you.
Hey.
Your video and audio are better than ever. Well, thanks.
Yeah,
we're trying. Yeah,
we changed up some stuff to try to get some better quality. So.
And
we're
again,
glad to hear that.
And again, the theme of the night is price, massive price movements on comics especially in recent years. So if you have a book you're curious about, go ahead and put it in the comment section, and I will look it up in the vintage guides to see what they would have cost you when you were a kid.
Okay, he couldn't move much at all. Had the pleather skirt on Beastman. I was really concerned about moving his waist.
Okay.
Yeah. All the accessories that they put on, then you can't really do much with them. The new Batman Adventures figure that came out gave me a lot of
the ones from McFarlane Toys. The ones from McFarlane Toys, and Dorian is here. How did you two meet?
Online.
Yes.
On a dating website. We did.
We did. It actually worked.
Yeah, we met
and
on
Out of Sight is here.
Yeah. Hey, Out of Sight.
Making record cabinets. If you start mass production cabinets, let me know. I need some for my DVDs.
Yeah, we did a follow-up with the records in there now.
We didn't film the whole process, but we just did a couple of shorts.
Yeah, and it's nice. It came out really nice, and we built 2, and I still got records that need one. So I need about 1 or 2 more. But it came out really nice, and it was fun. So, but now we're just making the dividers.
Yes.
To put the dividers in there, we're putting them in alphabetical order.
And we'll probably need at least 1 more shelf.
Yeah, 1 more of those cabinets.
Yeah, for the massive vinyl collection that we have. K Munin said, what toy lines sell best in the area? In their area, it seems like it's always SH Figure Arts and Dragon Ball. I got to concur, because usually not the Figure Arts, but the Dragon Ball Bandai stuff is missing from the pegs. But a lot of the rest of the time, the other stuff, the Legends and the G.I. Joe and whatever, is still sitting there. And
it's always a ton of Ninja Turtles. They seem Ninja Turtles not move a lot.
Yeah. There's too many lines, and a lot of them, they don't look that great. You know, the newer Turtles, they making some weird stuff.
Yeah.
I did that short on that because they did those Fuglies or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this crap? Well, I mean, the original owners sold the rights. Both of them sold out. So
now they can get whatever. And that's why you have the Turtles Masters of the Universe crossover and the Turtle Wrestler crossover and all of that weird stuff. So, but no, Robert, the cats don't sit in the record cabinets. So
no,
they don't. They don't do none of that. And Gilgamesh, I wish I knew about toys and comics earlier in my life. I would have got more.
Punisher X.
Hey, Punisher.
How about this one? Here's one I'll throw out to you. Okay. Here's a big one that everybody knows. Hulk 181. Hulk 181. First full appearance. Of Wolverine. So why don't I look that one up? And like I said, guys, if you're curious about any of them, throw it out there. I like
those Crisis on Infinite Earth covers because it has that like starry. Well, I know the Wonder Woman does have that kind of starry um universe looking uh paint job or whatever or cover. So I like the way that cover looks. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay.
Mhm.
Hulk 181. First appearance of Wolverine. One of the hottest books out there. I think most people would agree.
Mhm.
Okay.
But it's not rare.
It's not actually, and I did a whole video on that, and people got mad at me. They're
It's
like,
just
"You don't
expensive.
understand. It's about supply and demand. They're all over the place.
Yeah, it's just
It's just
expensive.
expensive. The demand for it drives the price up, but then they don't sell.
Yeah,
So
your money rare.
yeah,
That's
your
what it
money is
is.
what's rare. So Hulk 181 in 1981,
Uh-huh.
98, $1.
Really? That was a dollar bin book.
In a low to mid grade, 40 cents.
Wow.
40 cents. And I'll check the 1989 price. Yeah, that was a bin book.
Thank you, David. We really worked hard on that. When I saw it, I knew I had to make that because they had
Yeah.
the plans online and we printed out the plans and stained it, and the stain came out real good. Got the
Yeah.
stain from I think Lowe's in there.
She got the woohoo.
Yeah, the oops one. So it was on clearance. I guess somebody didn't want it. So,
Yeah.
and I didn't really care too much about the color because I didn't want to spend a lot on paint or stain. So I went to their section that has
There we
the
go.
mishap paints and got that. Speaking of McFarlane, his whole catalog of figures went on clearance at Walmart. The Ninja Turtle stuff is shipped in massive quantity and does not seem to be slow to sell. Yeah, it doesn't. In our Walmart, it's a ton of Ninja Turtle stuff. It doesn't move.
Here we go. And somebody told me I was lying about this in that video too, because
Hmm.
I said that you could find it and it wasn't that expensive. You could probably pick one up for around $50. And they were like, "You're full of shit,"
Hmm.
because I got my copy in like 1991 or 92. I
Hmm.
don't have it anymore, but that's when I got it, and I think I paid like $30 for it at the time. So in 1989,
Hmm.
a 9.8 would run you $75, and a mid-range copy 32.
Wow.
$32. How much is it now?
Spectacular Spider-Man 139.
139. Oh, Origin
Um,
of Tombstone. Okay.
um, how you gonna do a Ninja Turtle Transformer crossover?
I don't know. Well, they do crossovers with them with everything.
Oh yeah, with the My Little Pony.
Yeah, they did Transformers with My Little Pony. So, yeah,
Okay,
it
we're
wouldn't be
looking that
that
up.
hard.
Okay.
Spectacular Spider-Man. That's a Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, and then after that, look up Spider-Man 50. That's
Her
my
favorite.
grail.
Oh God, yeah. She's been keeping an eye out that for
I'm
that.
gonna find it for like 200. If I find it for $200, the cover might be missing. But I'm
Oh.
gonna find that book like super cheap, and then I'm gonna tell everybody, and nobody's gonna believe me. David probably won't
She
even believe
finds
me.
she finds some great deals though.
I
She really
do. I
does.
have. I have found some really good books that are way more expensive than what I paid for them.
Yeah.
But if I can get that Spider-Man 50, um, you ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. I'm gonna tell everybody, and nobody's gonna believe me. Ninja Turtle sells very well where I live in North Texas. It seems like Walmart gets blown out, and they restock and get blown out again and again. Not in Georgia, well, not where we are in Georgia. They don't move off of the shelf. They're just there. I'm gonna guess back then it was like $200. I think he was talking about Hulk 181. No, it wasn't $200 at all. Magneto Testament is
What
one of
number
my
was
favorite
that?
comic series out there. Hmm?
What number was that?
It was number 139. Wasn't that
139.
139? Yes.
What? Oh, 139. Origin of Tombstone. Here's the thing. Let me
Okay.
double check this again because I'm looking in. Spectacular Spider-Man is not even in the 1981 edition. I
Oh.
looked under Spectacular and Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
It is in the 1989 edition,
Mm-hmm.
and the first appearance of Tombstone, 9.8, $1.50.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. Mid-range, 75 cents.
I
But yeah,
kind of.
and
Oh.
I was expecting that because there's a lot of stuff that's missing from here.
Oh. I kind of wish some company would make ROM again. Spider-Man 50.
Oh, Spider-Man 50. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, come on,
Oh, ROM's
300 primes, but no ROM. Okay.
okay.
Wow.
Amazing Spider-Man number 50. Let's see here.
I have the facsimile, facsimile of Hulk 181. That's about all you can do on some of these comics because, again, you would have to win the lottery and then be willing to spend that type of money.
Most people are because they'll just splurge and then they'll be sorry. But
I'll splurge, but I'm not splurging on $1 million comic book.
no, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to either. I've been through too much to just blow cash and frivolously like that. Oh, here we go. Amazing Spider-Man. Okay, so
I have GS X-Men #1. Okay, we'll look it up. That's barely a 3.0, paid $50 20 years ago. Wonder what it's worth back then.
giant size X-Men
Okay.
#1. They mean.
He'll look it up in a minute.
Amazing Spider-Man number 50 in 1981. A mint copy, $3.
I had to prepare myself.
$1.50 for the cheap one. In 1989, Amazing Spider-Man number 50. Oop, I lost my place. Hold on a second. Amazing Spider-Man number 50. Mint copy, $25. Mid-range, $9.
I'd have paid $25.
Yeah, I'll pay for $25 for it right now. No, giant size
X-Men
I'll see
#1.
I'll see if it's in the 1981 edition.
Let's see if I guess right for 1989. Okay, what did you guess? David, I am in the big city of Chicago. Boo! We hated Chicago.
Well, we lived in
Elgin.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand it. Anyway, and it is sad to see comic stores continue to decline. I miss the 90s when they were on every corner and you walk in and shoot the breeze with the owners. Not anymore. When we were in Chicago, we weren't big into comics. We were big into toys, and we used to go to the I think it was in
Wax Pack.
The Wax Pack, but it was a monthly comic toy show we used to go to in like a American Legion Hall.
That's right.
I can't remember.
And they also
what
had
time.
The huge Kane County thing.
Yeah, in the Kane County.
Yeah.
Another line that sells shockingly well is Gundam Universe. Being a huge Gundam fan, that makes me happy, but surprising since it doesn't have the show going on in the US. A lot of people, because that's anime, right? The Gundam?
Yes.
A lot of people are into the anime, so it's funny. Some YouTube channels sell those older 9/8 slab for hundreds, and I'll see the same comic at the show or small con in a very fine just to read and pay $15 to $30.
I got it. So X-Men Giant Size Special #1 in 1981, $3.50 for mid copy and $1.75 for the crappy one. And in 1989, we do see a price increase. Okay. So, where was it? For a mint copy, $95, and for the crappy one, $34.
Yeah.
And that's gone way up now, because that's another really hot book from that era.
Recently saw the Ninja Turtle van change to the channel. Oh, okay. So that's what it is. Amazing Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man.
No, I don't. I'm not a Spider-Man fan, but I really love the cover of Amazing Spider-Man 50. Because when you look at that cover, you know, the
Uh-huh.
bright red, you got the Spider-Man in the back, kind of looking over his shoulder. You got Peter Parker walking
Sure.
away. He looking like the world is on his shoulders. Somebody stole his ball, and he just walking away, looking all
He's
sad
off the
and
team.
depressed. Yeah, he got kicked off the team. He looking sad
It's
and
good
depressed.
art contrast.
Yeah, it's just a really good cover. And it is, I will admit, it is a couple of covers because I got the drug covers, because I like the drug books. But also, um, I read Man Thing and Spider-Man was in it. And I liked his betrayal in the comics. I don't care for him in the movies. But in the comic book,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I think what he's like in his 20s or something in the comic.
Younger than that.
Oh, he's younger, but he didn't come off as a bumbling teenager like
Yeah.
in the movies. In the comic book, he was more mature. He had a little girlfriend. He had a car and everything. You know, he just seemed more mature in the books. But then when you watch him on the movies, he's like some little teenage boy just flying around doing whatever he's doing. So I didn't care for that. And my first introduction to Spider-Man was always in the movies. So then when I read about him in the books, I'm like, oh, okay. Um, not saying that I would collect any Spider-Man book except for like the number 50, and I got what, like three of the drug books. I think it's maybe one or two more
Yeah.
that I would like to have. But if I get any more, it's going to be because I like the cover, then I'll read the book. But to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna start collecting, no,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do all that. But you know,
I don't know, but they did it, Munin. Why would you cross over Transformers with My Little
I
Pony?
don't know why they did
For the
that.
bronies.
Batman issue
Excuse me.
200. My local shop is selling what? Oh, for $100.
A
Just curious.
6'9" or a 9'6", because there's no 6'9".
Okay. But
But Batman number
number
200.
200.
What was the number? What's the
I
significance of
don't know.
200?
How about Tales to Astonish 62? Okay, we'll look
Yeah.
that up after the Batman 200. So
Yes.
we'll come back to that one.
Yeah.
And what is King Panther? David, what issue did the Spider-Man villain, the Chameleon, first appear in? What is the issue?
I think it's the first number one.
Oh, Spider-Man number one?
Yeah. I
Oh.
think at first Chameleon, first J. Jonah Jameson, I think.
That's the boss, right?
Yes. The guy at the newspaper.
Mm-hmm. And I bought it for $35 a few years back. Oh, okay.
Wow. Holy crap.
That's the Batman. He
Oh,
bought the
okay.
Batman 200 for $35 a few years back.
All right. So Batman. Okay, I found Batman.
Out of all your comics, which comic
Oh, the
covers stand
anniversary
out
issue.
in your mind?
So in 1981,
Mm-hmm.
number 200 was $2.25, or 80 cents for the crappy one. And then let me see, in 1989,
Mm-hmm.
Batman number 200 anniversary issue. Yeah, retails the origin. Mint copy $11, crappy copy $5.50.
Somebody else asks a Tales to
Oh,
Astonish
Tales
number
to
six.
Astonish.
What's that? The first Thor? Yeah, no, the first appearance of the leader.
Ah,
Um, my favorite comic cover is Batman 227. I love that cover. I'm always love that cover.
62.
Yeah, 62.
Okay. So in 1981, $1.50.
Mm.
Tales to Astonish number 62. And I'll look it up in the other one here.
I remember seeing Ninja Turtles number one when it first came out, and I said, "That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I'm not buying that." Yeah,
Yeah.
but look at the price now.
But where the heck is it?
Okay, and then after that,
Here
we'll
we
look up
go.
Fantastic Four.
62.
Okay, so we'll come back to the Fantastic Four. Let's see what else.
Oh,
Collect.
in 1989,
Mm-hmm.
$8
$8.
or 350.
Mm.
Fantastic Four number 49. Yeah, now
Mm-hmm.
people are getting into it.
Yeah, because
Because
you
it's
want to see.
curious. Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
because you got to wonder. I mean, if I was around then, and if I knew then what I knew now, the when, the where, the what, and how,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fairly plain to see things would have gone much differently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Fantastic Four number 49.
Yeah.
$9 or
$9.
450 in 1981.
What's the significance of Fantastic Four 49? The
Oh,
first appearance of what?
yeah, first appearance of
Jean Grey.
is that Silver Surfer? No,
I
you're
don't know.
thinking X-Men.
I don't know. I don't know who is who.
Fantastic Four number, if I can find it. I think it's the first appearance of Silver Surfer.
Oh.
Okay. In mint condition, 48. In
Mm-hmm.
crappy condition, 1950. 1989. Wow.
Collecting a newfound 90s forgotten toy line, cheap toy vaults, Lord of the Rings.
Uh-huh.
Very unique, waiting for cheap toy collection video part 2.
Oh, yeah, we haven't done one of those in a while. We did 3. We did one for the 70s, one for the 80s, and one for the 90s.
Yeah.
And, and they weren't all inclusive because you can't name everything. Because some
Yeah.
people, there's a few people that were like, you forgot to mention blah blah. And it's like, listen, dude, I mentioned like 100 lines in there.
And then
And I told you, hey, it's not everything. If you have a suggestion,
yeah, put it
but
in the
no,
comments.
but I could do a 2000s one because we're getting there.
Yeah.
2000s stuff from the 2000s is vintage now.
24 years ago.
Yeah, if it's from 2000 to 2004, it's vintage technically. Yeah, you were that old.
Yeah.
But
to be fair, part of the reason comic book stores are declining is due to the current state of the comic industry. They chased away a lot of fans.
Well, one of the big arguments that we hear, and we talk to a lot of dealers, is that they say that they're so disenfranchised with the modern books that they're thinking about getting away from them. Ogun Shea, beautiful background. Thank you. That the new books are killing them.
Wow.
They don't sell unless they're like variant covers.
Yeah.
And that they pile up and they can't sell them even in the dollar bins. Nobody wants them because the stories are garbage or the interior art is trash. The cover looks great and the art inside is just a mess. And so it piles up and they get nowhere to put the stuff anymore. Plus they have to pay for it. And you have to buy a certain number to get the variant covers. And so I'm better off if I just go all vintage and sell everything from 2000 back.
Yeah.
And then anything made after 2000, just don't even bother with it and don't get the new stuff at all. And a lot of dealers have said that they're moving away from selling diamond distribution. Cancel my subscription. I don't want any new books anymore. Because everybody wants the older stuff because the stories are better.
Derek paid $900 for Final Fantasy 15 and 91.
Amazing Fantasy number 15. First appearance of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Stan Lee has a great story about that too.
If David gets $1 million, my prediction is he will finish his Raw G.I. Joe collection and finish Kenner Star Wars. He would finish every toy
She
line.
would make me. She would make me. I'm serious.
I would. Because I feel so bad. And I don't know how many of y'all saw that video he did of the stuff he used to have and now he doesn't anymore.
1989 Amazing Fantasy number 15, first Spider-Man in mint condition, 1800 and 720 in the mid-range. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, because he paid. Well, he could have got a deal.
Hmm.
But yeah, I would want him to finish all of the lines that he got. He got Cops, he got Mass, he got Brave Star, he got all of these things, and then he talks about, we'll watch comic book chat. Oh, I used to have that book. I had that book. I had this. I had that. Here we'll watch toys. Oh, I had this line. I had that whole thing. And you just feel so bad for him.
Well,
So
if you've ever seen that old video, I had a rather large collection that was essentially stolen by
yeah,
my ex.
yeah. That's why you gotta know who you with. Thank you. I don't know what your name, so I'll call you O'Shea.
Ogunshay,
Ogunshay.
if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Amazing Fantasy number 15 in
Hey, Thor. Go ahead.
1981,
Mm-hmm.
870 in mint condition, and 350 in crappy condition. And
Hmm.
the Stan Lee story about it, I saw him in an interview talking about Amazing Fantasy. They let him run that story because they didn't have anything for the last issue, because 15 was going to be the last issue, and the editor hated it.
Mm-hmm.
Says Spider-Man, it's bullshit. Nobody likes that. Nobody's going to want that, right? And then he ran that story.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing Fantasy went off, and then like some months later, the whoever it was, the producer or the editor in chief or whoever was in charge at the time, comes up to Stan Lee and he says, "Hey, you remember that great Spider-Man thing that we liked?" And it Stan's like, yeah." And he was like, "Do you think you could do that as a regular series? It's really popular." And Stan and Stan's point, of course, is if you got something
Yeah.
means a lot to you, don't let go of it because someone else doesn't like it, because the editor told him it was shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was, nobody's going to like that. Nobody wants to see a teenager superhero who has actual problems, because that was
Yeah.
the whole thing. That's why Spider-Man was so popular.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man is the first superhero in the history of superheroes to lose a fight, because Dr. Octopus beat the hell out of him in the comics.
Oh, did he?
He the first one to lose a fight.
Mm-hmm.
He had all kinds of problems. He didn't fit in. They used to bully him in the high school.
Oh, yeah.
All those things that real people go through. So a lot of young people identified with it.
Oh, okay. Wiz Comics number 2. Yeah,
Wiz?
yeah. I wish they did that too. Batman does need to cut that out and just keep going, because they keep on, you got all the different ones, and then if you miss one of the Robins and then you pick up somewhere else, they'll talk about it and you're like, oh man, which one is that? Who's this one? Who's that one? And then that girl came in there for a little while. And I don't know. Disney Spider-Man is the worst. They're like watching bad after school specials.
Oh,
Wolverine is by
no.
far a great warrior. Okay, so we're looking up Wiz.
Okay, I got it.
You got it.
And that's the first Shazam, I think, right? Let me see. Or Captain Marvel, rather. And there is no number 1 technically.
Okay.
But Captain Marvel 0. In mint condition, 4,500, and in crappy condition, 2,750 in 1981.
Mm.
And then in 1989, I had it. Oh, here we go. 18,200 in mint.
18,000. It went up that much?
Yeah, and 8,400 in like a mid-range condition.
I wonder what caused it to go up like that.
I don't know.
No, I'm not going to watch no book.
I don't like modern Deadpool at all. I saw the first film,
Mm-hmm.
and that was enough for me to never want to see another Deadpool film again. I did not like it at all.
I never seen Deadpool.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about his character.
Yeah.
I've never read any of his books. I never read a book with him in it. So I can't speak on
the old
Deadpool.
I liked better when he was serious.
Mm-hmm.
When they turned him into comedy relief, I lost interest, and the movie just really turned me off. I know a lot of people liked it. I did not.
Oh, wow.
Munin says Disney made a mess of Star Wars and Marvel. How do you ruin the two of the most popular franchises so thoroughly? By viewing them as franchises rather than cultural phenomenons. And I've talked about this a lot.
Silver Surfer, I guess the first one.
Well, we read that one. That was the Fantastic Four numbers.
Oh, he didn't have his own book?
49. Oh, Silver Surfer number 1?
Oh, I guess he's saying, because I asked what was the significance of
49.
49,
yeah,
and that's the answer. I know we just getting to it, right?
Okay. Well,
sorry.
Star Wars was a cultural phenomenon. It wasn't just a movie. You know, it's just like when The Simpsons first started picking up steam in the early 90s, like 90, 91, cultural phenomenon. I mean, they had Burger King prizes. They were everywhere. And when these companies acquire this stuff now, they look at it as a franchise. Hey, this used to make a ton crap of money. How much can we squeeze out of it? Rather than what made this so special? Let's try to recapture it. Oh, number one Marvel fan has joined us. And I've referenced this a lot now, like they did with Cobra Kai, where they said, what was it about the original films that made them so special? Let's do this again.
Yeah.
Instead of, hey, let's make some cash off of this real quick while we can still dig up a couple of the people that might have been in the movie. That's what Disney and other companies like it do. It's easy to pick on Disney because they have a lot of franchises, but that's what they do.
I think they got too many.
Yeah.
And Marvel was big enough because, you know, it had all like the little movies. So yeah, I think they got too many. Can you look up Young Romance 125? And Reston says, I remember checking the Overstreet in the 80s and being disheartened with the values not increasing. Well, they're increasing now.
Things go slow. I mean, we're talking the 1981 edition was 43 years ago. You know,
I think Endgame was good, Robert.
Where was I? Young Love. 125.
Yes, 125. Just
if curious. It's in here.
Yeah, because I love romance.
Yeah, we got it. She's got a ton of romance. I have a couple, but she has a lot.
Yeah, I like romance and war books. Chance, do you still have J.J. Arms action figure and the van?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he not getting rid of
I don't sell very often.
And when he does, I get very upset.
It's not in the 1981 edition.
I'll
look in the 1989.
But you know, they probably because romance probably wasn't a big thing, so it's probably.
Well, I mean, this is the best. This is the 4th edition. It is the best they could do.
Yeah,
you know, you see the difference in size, just in just a couple of years here. So, Young Love 125.
Okay, Gilgamesh says the new Transformer, Cobra Commander, and Void Rival books from Image are actually really good. Okay, I've seen and I heard that the new Transformer comics are pretty good.
I got it. Young Love.
Yeah.
125. Mint copy, 60 cents.
You won't find that for 60 cents now.
Low grade copy, 30 cents. But yeah, J.J. Arms, they said?
Yeah.
That's right.
David can't stand new comics.
There he is, J.J. Arms.
Hold on, let me move this out the way so people can see good.
J.J. Arms by Ideal Toy Corporation, 1976. And J.J. Arms is a real person. It's
yeah, you told that story.
Yeah, because they did too. They Evel Knievel obviously was a real person, and J.J. Arms was also a real person. He was a detective, and he had 2 prosthetic hands that he had change outs for. And you see, he actually has a bunch of things there, like a pen hand and a gun hand and all kinds of weird stuff, because he lost both of his hands when I think he was 12 years old, stealing blasting caps from a rail yard.
I thought that was the guy that was rescuing the girl.
He was. Some I think it's Paul Newman or somebody. I forget who the celebrity was. Their child was kidnapped, and he was on the case. He was the detective. That's how he got famous.
Oh.
And I do have also the van. I've got the sealed van here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of rain, Eric, and it's supposed to rain a bunch more next week. And then it got cold.
But yeah, once I get something, it's real hard for me to let go of it. But yeah,
let me move this out the way.
This is the van. Mobile Investigation Unit.
What's that blue thing? A hook?
Yeah, it's a well, you know, since he has prosthetic arms, the van has to have arms too.
Oh.
So
my God.
Isn't that ridiculous? This is and I have his autograph.
Oh, good.
I have an autograph. I don't know where it is. Oh. It's in the closet, actually. I just don't want to dig for it. It's a big like poster size, about so big. It's about as wide as this, with his picture and the toys in the background. And he signed it. He did a private signing in Arizona a few years back.
What's the most you ever paid for a comic?
Oh God, I don't know.
Hey, Pete.
Probably not more than a few $100s. I think the most, probably the most I ever paid for a comic book would be like $400.
I don't think I would spend over $500 on a comic.
Yeah, he'd try not to.
I don't want
Try
to.
not to.
I just won't have it.
Well, who asked that question?
Who? How much you paid for a comic?
No, I'm just I'm trying to catch up because I see
It
Pete
was
Butler.
in
Pete Butler is here.
Mm-hmm.
Derek. I don't know if we said hi to Derek.
Yeah, we've said hi and we answered
Nostalgic
another
for the
question.
70s. It says we'd be expanding your Shogun Warriors collection if I get a chance, if I can find them for decent prices.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm always watching out for the Shogun Warriors, all sizes, because I have the 3 and the 5-inch ones too.
Yeah, David, don't blame me. He'll finish the G.I. Joe. But see, he got the 60s and the 80s. So he got to get that black G.I. Joe. He got to get a couple of vehicles.
What they used to call the Negro Action Soldier. And I had a few of those. I had a massive amount of 60s, 70s, and 80s G.I. Joes. I just don't anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I lost a lot. I'm lucky I still have what I do.
Hey, Jay.
Jay is here today.
Oh, yeah. Robert asked if you got some more Brave Star. He hasn't got any Brave Star in a while.
No, because it's running down to where you know, the further down the rabbit hole you go with the Brave Star, the more expensive everything's going to get.
Yeah, that's why you got to win the lottery
from the regular
if you want to
series.
Be a collector.
I still need 30-30, and in the box 30-30, he'll run you $600 to $800. And then the Fort Carrium, of which there's 2 versions. There's the deluxe fort and the regular fort. But then there's the specialty packs, 30-30 and Brave Star 2-pack, Brave Star with the badge, which is
he don't have a badge.
Edition. No, he doesn't come with a badge.
Oh,
there is a version that comes with a badge. It's very rare. The Tex Hex and Brave Star 2-pack, that stuff gets real expensive. Oh, and Marvel Fan says they need to get the Shogun Warrior set. Only have Godzilla. Played with them so much during the 70s, being so large, and they don't have great articulation at all.
Yeah,
but they're just so cool because the size is imposing.
That's why you got to know who you're with. You do.
She's right.
Because
we must be way behind.
Yeah, we are.
Might have to skip ahead.
Okay. What are Kazar's first appearance?
I don't remember.
Oh, Strange. Was it Strange Tales?
I don't remember where Kazar first appeared.
Yeah, it's I think it's Strange Tales, and it was a couple of issues before the first appearance of Man Thing. And I can't remember because I think Man Thing was like 15 or something. So it was like a few appearances. Yeah, we're gonna. Oh no, look how many we skipping. Okay.
Easel Monkey says finished watching Escape from New York. It was really Escape from New York is silly, but it's fun.
Is that the one with what's that guy name?
With
Oh, David said
Kurt Russell.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because it was Escape from New York and Escape from LA, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And John says,
hey, John.
Hello. Been a while since I've been able to be on here with you both. Been hospitalized. Oh, what happened to you?
Well, we hope you're doing all right.
And Marvel Fan says they have a picture from 1987 of their room. You can see 3 Overstreet guys on the desk when they came out. Like a major event, although Mimi loved reading the fanzines. And then David says, they're just trying to catch up a little bit here. Have to tip David for the lookups. Hey, I don't mind. Yeah, I'll take all the tips I get. And Deggs, what do you think is a better chance at a comeback, Funko or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
If they leave Star Wars alone for a while, if you're looking for Pops to come back, they're not going to.
You don't think so?
No. I'll explain in a minute. And then Axel Foley says, notification bell sent to all vids, but have not been receiving them. I hear that all the time, that people don't get notifications. Producers and directors cared about the art and the presentation and the acting. Now it's all political agenda driven and perverse stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can I agree with that. David says I was on Whatnot and saw the antique mall. Went to a vintage toy booth and they had all the Defenders of the Earth and all the Crystar.
Oh,
Oh, Crystar is a tough one to find, especially like LJN made Crystar, right? Those I think, or I might be thinking of the wrong one, but I believe that a lot of them the packaging turns yellow and brittle.
oh wow.
And Ogun Shea said, "Hey, uh, Chance, great. I was able to purchase JJ Arms in his van on eBay. What a good find. Yeah, it's a cool toy. And it's a piece of history. And plus, he was a real person.
$100 for Hancy.
Yeah, although
Somebody.
somebody took a blue pen to her eyes on the cover. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's about the right for the Hancy book though. I bought that about a year ago. I think last year at a show. I bought it.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Nostalgic says he still needs a black talking commander to finish the adventure team. Kung Fu Black Commander. That's the flocked one that has the beard.
Okay.
The commanders all had, well, yeah, the Black Adventurer. That's how they separated him from the Black Adventurer because the head mold was the same, but the talking commander had a beard.
Okay. So the other one didn't have a beard.
No, the other one has no beard. And Eric says, "Did we get the new Rock On Origins?" She's not buying the new ones.
What's a rock on?
Rock On from Masters
Oh,
Origins,
the Origins line? No. Mm-mm. I'm kind of like done with all that.
and that's a question for you.
Are you paying that? Yeah, I did order it. The new Brave Star, and then I think they haven't come out with the 3030 yet, just the Brave Star. I did order that.
And
Yeah.
Fabio is here.
Hey, Fabio.
Thanks for joining us today,
Good to see
Fabio,
you
or
too.
this evening. And Reston says you both already retired. Hardly. I'm sure the videos and shorts and the cons take a lot of time. It does take a lot of time, but we enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Basically,
No, we're not retired.
We're not retired. No, we still got a crank. And John
Oh
says,
God.
"Oh wow,
Heart, lung, and kidney all went haywire at once. Took me a
wow,
month to fully recover, but I'm better now, and thank the Lord for that.
yeah, I'm glad you're doing better. That's scary.
Man.
That's scary.
Yeah. It seemed like it's been a tough um since November. And I know for a lot of people that I work with, I know for our
Yeah,
personal family.
we've had a really rough few
Yeah.
months.
And then another friend of the channel, been having a lot of just health issues, death in the family, and all of that.
Yeah,
Since
a lot going on.
Yeah, it seemed like since November of last year, 2023, up to now, it's just been rough and tough.
Yeah.
And it's just, wow.
So we're glad you're doing better now.
Yeah, put you on that prayer list.
And then I'll get. Oh yeah, I said I would get back to this.
Which one?
This came in and
Oh,
brings
okay.
it back up. I agree. Recently went to Target. They had all their collector exclusive pops on clearance day one, straight from the case. They just can't sell full price anymore.
Mm-mm.
Here's the thing: people got mad at me for years. People get mad at me all the time. It's fine. It's about the things I said about Funko Pops, and they're like, "You don't know what you're talking about. Funko forever. Funko will never die because they have all these franchises. It doesn't matter how many franchises they have when it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They're reimagining the same exact concept in a bunch of franchises in different ways. So that's the thing. People eventually will get tired of that concept and they'll move on.
Mm-hmm.
It happens to all toy lines. All toy lines. They had a good run. They started in 2010 with the Funko Pops. Okay, Pops started in 2010. But they weren't popular. They weren't popular until about 2015. But in 2014 they started really to sell, and then in 2015 they cranked them.
Yeah.
And so for about a good 8 years there, Funko was moving tons and tons of pops. Though this last year, it's really bottoming out, and you can see it everywhere. You see how much the shelf space has shrunk.
Yeah.
You see they're producing less. They realized it's not working anymore, and they always knew it was coming, which is why they always came up with other ideas, Dorbs, Sofubis, whatever they could.
Yeah, the Hakaris.
And the Hakaris were nice.
Yeah, I was collecting those.
Yeah, to see if something else would jump off. And with Funko, it's the sodas. The sodas resonated with people, even though essentially they're ripoffs of Sutton and Sons vinyls from the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Not that the Pops are original either. They're not. but because Remco did it in the 60s, the same concept, but people are starting to get worn with the Pops. It's too many. It's too
Yeah.
saturated. Too many. They've made like 15, 20,000 different now. And
Yeah.
people can't keep up. They don't want to keep up. And it's just bound to happen. It's nothing personal against Funko.
No.
It's just eventually every toy line meets its maker, and they have to reformat it. Look at how many times GI Joe has been reimagined to keep it going. Started off as the America's Movable Fighting Man, became the Adventure Team because they already saw the writing on the wall during the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
We can't sell soldier stuff anymore. Parents aren't going to let the kids buy it. Then when that wasn't working anymore, they went to Super Joe, and then which was basically a rip of Mego
Mm-hmm.
because it's the same scale, wasn't selling, and they 86'd it, and then came back with a Raw, but eventually even a Raw wasn't selling anymore in the early 90s, and then that's when they went to Sergeant Savage. Sergeant Savage wasn't popular. They did GI Joe Extreme.
Mm.
Extreme was terrible. That was a terrible line, by the way. Worst thing GI Joe's ever done. And then they took a walk for a while. They stepped back, did a few uh, of the Hall of Fame stuff for a while because those were still selling in the collector's market. But
Yeah.
how many times has GI Joe been reimagined? That's just how it is. But Pops themselves, I don't think they're coming back.
Yeah, I ordered the ramen toys, Brave Star, but it hasn't come out yet. You know, you had to pre-order it and all of that.
Yeah, David thinks Funko will make you insane.
It's not that bad. I mean, like I said, I got into them, but I didn't get into everything, just very specific lines.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I wasn't in the Marvel, I wasn't in the DC, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings,
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. And those were the big, massive ones. Mine was mainly like the TV show ones,
yeah.
where it kind of had a cutoff. So, you know, I was all right with it. Every so often I'll see one that I like. I don't really go after it too much. If I see it in the store, I'll pick it up. But
Mm,
to look like I used to, I don't really do
yeah.
that too much anymore.
Eric says somebody's got He-Man and Battle Cat mint out of the box, not mint out of the box for $658. That's
So it's out of the box.
yeah,
It's
it's
loose.
loose.
Oh, so how am I supposed to know that's the 2-pack? It's just, well, he did say He-Man and Battle Cat. Oh, whatever. Nobody
Yeah,
paying that.
and that will be our next theme. By the way,
What?
I also have a vintage toy price guides, and we can look up what they would have cost. We'll do that in another video.
Yeah, we see chases on the in store exclusive on the shelf all the time.
Yeah,
And it was a time you never see a store
no,
exclusive or a chase on the shelf.
Chase went out the side door.
Yeah. But now they're
Yeah,
just on the shelf like it ain't nothing.
and Ray wants them to do IPs. They do have a few IPs.
They did the Smurfs.
Yeah, they did the Smurfs also. They did one line of the Smurfs and dropped it.
Yeah. I think if they did a full-size lunchbox and thermos,
Mm-hmm.
it would give them a little resurgence for a while. They have all of those properties or franchises, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
They can do a lunchbox, you know, based on those, a full size lunchbox, not that
Not
little
a mini box,
one,
yeah.
but a full size box with a thermos, and it'll bring back those nostalgic feelings, and people will want it. They'll go after, they'll collect it for a while, you know, about a year or so, and then till it wears out because they'll do too much. But at least they'll get up a little bit.
And William says people want to think everything they love will last forever, but the
Yeah.
simple fact is nothing is safe from extinction. Time changes everything. Yeah, look at the Peanuts.
Mhm.
This is one of my. I love the Peanuts, and we all grew up with Peanuts. You know, Snoopy and Charlie Brown, and it's fading. It's disappearing.
Atlanta is
Ogun Shy. How are things
Atlanta.
in Atlanta as far as the state goes? Yeah, well,
down the drain.
stay out of the politics and you're
Yeah.
fine. And Altran Kaiju has joined us.
Yeah.
And John said, "Thank you for the kind words. Ironically, when I passed out, I was home watching The Last Dragon from '85
Oh, The Last Dragon.
and woke up a week
Oh, you see?
later.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
With a nurse and doctor asking me how.
Yeah,
I
because they
was.
want to see if you're coherent.
Oh
right? I
my
believe, yeah.
God.
Do you know what date it is? Do you know who's the president? Questions like that. Yeah. Raccoon says they're over pops too. I'd love to sell half of them. Maybe keep 25 of the ones I really love. I have over 200.
But at least you got over 200 and not over 800.
Nostalgic says they did a trade with a friend and got Rom the Space Knight.
Oh,
Now we'd have to potentially try to track down the
it says
accessories
patiently.
patiently. Okay, and that's another one too. You know, when I remember Rom Space Knight at shows, people had cases of them back in the early '90s. They couldn't get $20 a piece for them mint in the box.
Mm.
Seriously. And how much is it now? Reston says I looked online for a friend for the Big Boy Restaurant Kids comic, but haven't found any. Have you guys seen any locally? Oh, Bob's Big Boy.
I don't know.
You know, sometimes that one guy who has the $5 bins
Mm-hmm.
at the Atlanta Comic Convention has them.
Oh, okay.
The
I know
Bob's
that's
Big Boy
not so,
comics
but now that you said it, do sound like it's something that I've
or
seen.
Tasty Freeze comics,
Oh,
stuff like
okay.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I might even have a couple.
Oh, yeah.
And to my, I've been buying Fiken body and building head sculpt and taking clothes off other figures and making cool costume figures.
Oh, okay, that sounds cool.
Doing kit bashing.
Yeah.
Kit bashing. And Ray says maybe they could reimagine the littles. I like the silly Saturday morning show. That sounds familiar.
I
I
remember. Yeah,
remember the
that name
littles.
does sound familiar. I don't remember what it
Yeah.
was though.
And Tumai says 3-0 figures are good and are well made. I have the 3-0 Full Metal Alchemist set.
I have the 3-0 Transformers. They did the
Mhm.
Transformers the 6 scale because then they went to 12 scale. But yeah, they are well made, well constructed. I like them. After about 4 figures, they started putting die casts in the feet, and that helped them to stand up.
Balance,
Because
yeah.
the first
Because most of
about
those figures
2,
are top heavy. You know,
yeah.
most 6 scale are in that range or top
Mm-hmm.
heavy.
Yeah, they wouldn't stand up, and then they were too big for the stand. So the stand didn't work. The stand that they gave you, they'd be dangling in the air. So then they started putting die cast in the feet, and that
Yeah.
helped them to stand up.
I don't have any of the 3-0 GI Joes. And again, primary theme is comics then and now. So if you would like to know if anybody wants to call out, has a book, or is curious about a book, what it would have cost in 1981 or 1989, which is the 2 Overstreets I have,
Mm-hmm.
2 guides I have, go ahead and let me know and I'll look it up. No, I don't have any currently on display. I have a spot at the landing over here where I'm gonna build something for slabs. You're laughing at me. You're laughing at me. Where did those record shelves come from? Magic? Was it a spell? Like Jack Sparrow? I can do this.
I can smell the death of Funko Pops from the first time I saw one. I said to myself, "What is this, and why is it so popular?" Action figures are
Way
way
better
better.
than Pops.
Yeah.
Well, they have one point of articulation.
The Pops are?
Yeah, the heads you can turn them.
Yeah, don't count. Have you checked out the
YOLO Park Transformer figures? They don't transform, but a lot of toy reviewers seem to love them.
Oh,
She
okay.
doesn't have any of those.
I don't have any.
I know
of
what those are though. I've seen the YOLO Park.
I only have the original, a couple of the Takaras, and the 301s.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna really get any more Transformers.
Okay.
I mean, I do want, and I haven't looked for them, but
Starscream?
the Starscream.
I think
So-
she wants like the G1 Starscream though.
Yeah, not like G20, but the G1 Starscream, I would like to have
Yeah.
that.
And Munin says, did we ever watch Street Fighter Assassin's Fist that they had recommended? It's free on YouTube.
We've seen a couple of the Street Fighters.
Don't know if it was that specific one.
I don't know which ones, because there's a couple of them on Tubi.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Tubi. And we saw those. We saw the Mortal Kombats. and we saw it was another one, the Mortal Kombat and the Street Fighters,
Hmm.
but they were all on Tubi, so we saw that. But I don't know which one,
Okay.
so I can't say if we saw Assassin's Fist or not.
Robert says that he has some 30 Joes.
Okay.
Beautiful to look at, not very posable, but
Mm.
still worth the money. And
Okay.
30 is relatively inexpensive
Yeah.
by comparison. And David likes the ones from Jada, Street
I
Fighter
like
figures.
Jada's. I don't think they ever got the recognition they deserved. I like their vehicles. I liked when they came out with the pop like figures.
Yeah.
That never really took off. But I think those
The
figures
die
were,
cast metal ones. Yeah.
yeah, they were better than the Funko Pops because they actually had features.
Yeah. And Johnny Future's there. He says he's leaving Seattle Comic Con.
Oh,
He was getting autographs. Yeah, I believe he was getting autographs of from Back to the Future.
oh, that guy
Back
is
to the
there. What's his
Future.
name? Alex P. Keaton. What's his name? I can't think of the guy
Michael
name.
J.
Michael J.
Fox.
Fox.
He says he's listening while driving.
All right, drive home safely.
And Eric says, did we know that Jack Black is back with Kung Fu Panda 4? I saw the first one. I didn't see any of the other ones. And then Robert says he didn't care for the Mezco too bulky, but he loves the Batman Two-Face set. Got the Spider-Man really great figure. Love to get the Fantastic Four set as well. I had thought about the Fantastic Four set because I thought it would go good with that HasLab Galactus, but I just never did. It's expensive.
Wasn't that bad. G.I. Joe Extreme costume wasn't that bad, but you're right. The toys weren't
The
very
toys
good.
were articulated in a rather similar fashion
Mm-hmm.
to Kenner's Aliens line. The 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 human figures from the Kenner's Aliens where they're locked into a pose and they have like, one arm goes like this and one arm goes like that and then their head can turn like this. It was really clunky, like
Oh.
4 and 5 point articulation. And I'm like, ugh, that's just, you went from the entire history of the line from 1964 all the way to Sergeant Savage
Mm-hmm.
having a really high level of articulation to this. It's not going to fly.
Mm. Yeah, Robert, I'm kind of into the McFarlane too. The superpowers, I just want the vehicles. I don't really care to get, but it's a bunch of the superpowers in the Walmart around here. I'm not really into getting the figures, but I do like what's the ones in the DC ones. He had a couple, but I think the ones that I want you have to buy online, so I probably won't get it. Jada toys are not too easy to find in my area. The Street Fighters are the hardest to find. Yeah, they're not on the shelf. The action figures are never on the shelf. The vehicles are,
Yeah.
but not the action figures.
Well, then you would have to get them online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not expensive though, because they always, even on eBay, they sell at retail. They don't really go up in price.
Yeah.
Just like the Super 7 stuff don't really go up. They kind of stay.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
they drop. The
Yeah.
Super 7 has been sliding a lot in
Yeah.
aftermarket. You're better off almost waiting until it hits eBay and then looking for it. Or even
Yeah.
at the shows, if you saw the last retro toy swap that we attended,
Mm-hmm.
and there was the one guy that was there, and he had all those legends and all of
Yeah.
those GI Joe classifieds and all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
$5 and $10 a piece in the
Yeah.
box. He just wanted to get rid of them. He didn't care anymore.
Yeah, because it's just not moving. For some reason, people are just not as into it. And I'm wondering, are they just not into that brand, to those figures, or the
Yeah.
newer stuff, and rather have the older stuff? But yeah, Big Bad Toy Store is a good place. And if you wait on them, they have a lot of clearance, sometimes 50% off.
Yeah.
So
A lot of that stuff ends up on
sometimes
clearance
now you can't, you don't know
You
what.
never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
I was roomed with a graphics artist while in the hospital, so I wasn't too bad. So all wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
he was there for a kidney infection, but did a drawing for me of a fight scene between Black Panther and Wolverine.
Oh, okay.
That was cool.
Yeah. Is it something to keep you going?
Yeah.
Something to keep you going while you're there.
Especially if he was there that long.
Let's see. You think of another one, something insanely expensive now that back in the day.
Hey, Nomsky. I don't know comic books like
Okay.
all that.
How about Mad Magazine?
Oh, they got Mad magazines in there?
It's yeah, Mad Magazine's in here. Mad Magazine #1, 1952.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because it was originally a comic book and it turned into a magazine with issue 24
Uh-huh.
to avoid the Comics Code Authority. So Mad Magazine #1, 1981, $250 or
Mm.
125 in the lower grade. And then in 1989, let's see if I can find it. MAD.
Do you remember the skateboard gang action figure?
Skateboard Gang?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that sounds familiar. Okay, Mad Magazine #1 in 1989, 595 or 255 in low grade. And I know that's another one that will go for thousands now.
David, I'm with you. I hope they finish that Toxic Crusader. Because they got the nose guy. They did the dog and the toxic the little worker guy, the toxic robot guy. But it's a lot of others,
The,
like the villains, the
the
one with the nose.
Radiation Rangers.
Radiation Ranger, that's what it was. The mama, the girlfriend. It's a lot of people, so I hope they do finish
And
that.
Toxie's mom's name was Toxie's mom.
I don't think they ever.
Even Toxie called her Toxie's mom.
No, he called her
Toxie's
mom.
mom.
I always loved Spy versus Spy.
Dr. Killomoff.
Yeah. And what was the little
I
his
can't
little
remember.
sidekick name with
I
the
don't remember the
glasses?
sidekick's name.
It always said, "I told you so."
I told you that was going to happen. Or he'd say something outrageous. Yeah, but what if it just so happens that one of the Toxic Crusaders is working at the Busy Burger and, will you shut up? That's impossible.
When I collect, I want stuff looks like the comic movies and TVs and posable. I want it to look exactly like
and
what
that
I
is
see.
what Super 7 was trying to do.
Yeah.
To make it look comic, or not comic, but cartoon accurate.
Did those Super 7 Joes,
they still hanging there.
Yeah, they still
They're
on the
still
shelf.
hanging there.
I was surprised to see Ultimates in the store. I mean, you see the reaction figure, but the Ultimates, I was surprised with that.
Yeah.
Keep a lookout for DeMarcus Young. He was only 19 years old in college, but no doubt he would be a great addition to Marvel, DC, or any comic book or graphic novel company.
Oh, then they probably won't want him.
If he can draw for real.
Yeah, if he could draw for real, they'll have him do covers, and then they'll put shit in the inside of the pages.
I love headbanging for Toxic Crusaders.
And that's right. That's what it is. He says that it was Psycho, is the sidekick.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then Ray says he's shocked no one has picked up Captain Planet. It used to be popular.
I have the Captain Planet action figures.
The original ones,
in a couple of the comics.
Captain Planet is an interesting line.
We tried watching that the other day, and I'm sitting there like, I used to watch this every day.
Because that's a fun thing to find out, because we watch these vintage shows that we grew up with, and sometimes it's amazing. You watch the show and you're like, wow, you can appreciate it better now as an adult than you did as a kid, like Star Blazers.
Yeah, we're watching Star Blazers
and I'm like, good Lord, this is really well written, and it's sad. It's a profoundly sad show.
Yeah,
there's a lot of heartstrings being pulled in that show, and I'm like, God, this is really well done. It looks good. It's got good music soundtrack. There's a lot of action. There's great story. Didn't appreciate it when I was a kid, but I did like the show. And then you try to watch something else, and or like Mr. Magoo, and it's
Oh
like,
God.
what the hell? I liked this. This is crap. It surprises you. Excuse me.
Twilight take a huge dip. Hot
Oh, Hot
Wheels
Wheels.
Turners, Tuners.
Tuners 124 scale cars. He remember they sold for 100 to 350. Now
I
you can grab
know.
them to 75 to $85. Excuse me. And Robert says took forever but saved up and got a 1/6 Mars Toys Jack Nicholson Joker and
Wow.
6 Prince Love. That figure looks just like Prince.
Yeah, I wanted the Hot Toys Joker and Batman, not Jack Nicholson Joker and Michael Keaton Batman, and that price.
And Dick Quantum Melon says that Secret Wars 2 is still not worth a lot. The only thing anybody wants from Secret Wars is number 8.
Was number 8?
Origin of the Black Costume for Spider-Man.
Oh, that was in Secret War.
Yeah, Secret Wars number 8. They explain the origin of the black costume, so that one's pretty popular.
Now is the
Copy.
time for Masters of the Universe. Why
yeah.
is it taking a dip? I haven't even looked them up to see.
Vintage or modern? Vintage or modern? You said
Yeah.
that to clarify.
I haven't looked them up in a long time to even see what they're going for.
Gnomsky says, as a kid, I knew Captain Planet was crap. Hated him. Does not surprise me no one has done a newer figure. You know what it is, though? Here's the problem. He's Captain Planet. He needs to save the Earth from pollution. And what's his weakness? Pollution. So how's he supposed to fight it? Just asking. Just asking.
Because all he do is fly around, and then he called Gaia, and then Gaia comes and does something. Classified series is 40% off.
A lot of that's on clearance at Walmart right now.
Yeah, I took a bunch of pictures. I was at Walmart Friday, and the bulk of the toys were on clearance. I took a bunch of pictures of it. So
yeah,
classic major drop.
the
classics.
The Maddie Club stuff.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I need the Panther. I'll look that up.
Okay.
Because that's the last piece I need for that collection is the Panther. Old toys I want back is Rom and Big Track.
It was complicated to drive. Is that the one where you have to push the buttons on the back of it? I think. And John says Damascus loves to draw versus fight scenes. He has a booklet where he's done Hulk versus Thing, Superman, Captain Marvel, Storm, and Isis, etc.
That should be cool to look at. Yes, I am.
Joker 2, Reston says.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm nervous
because of the obvious changes.
I'm looking forward to that. I have plans on going to the theater to see it. That and the Batman movie. The Batman Part 2. I'm excited for that one. And I'll actually go to the theater. Those are only 2 movies.
The one with Pattinson.
Yeah.
Batman.
I'm not big on going to the movie theater, but I'll go to see those 2. I enjoyed those. Captain Planet wouldn't get along with Toxic Crusader. They would be his villains. Oh no.
Well, he wouldn't get along with Kill 'Em Off either. That's Dr. Kill 'Em Off.
Pick up any new toy lines.
I don't know. Not really.
Well,
I'm trying to be really careful. I prefer vintage stuff.
Yeah.
Personally. I have gotten into some modern toy lines, but I keep hitting a wall with them because I get to a point where I start getting disappointed with them for the price.
Yeah.
And so then I'm like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Like the Mezco, I dropped the Mezco too. Although Mezco could be really hit or miss. One figure is amazing. And then the next figure, you're like, what the hell were you thinking? And I've done reviews of that. Like their Nosferatu, really cool figure. Their Ghostbusters set, terrible. They did a terrible job with that Ghostbusters set. It was probably one of their worst lines. And it seems like the more expensive and more anticipated figures are the ones they blow the hardest when it comes out. But so you get tired of that. You get tired of that. And at least with this stuff, I know what I'm getting. I know if it was a crappy figure, you already know what to expect, like the Durham figures that I have.
Yeah.
The Durham figures, some of the worst action figures ever made. But you know that. You know that you're not spending um I don't know, $100, $200, $300 for it, and then getting it and going, what the hell was this? And I just got sick and tired of being in that position.
I mean, I know for me, it's like it's a couple I'll see. Like I said before, the McFarlane superpowers. I do want the vehicle. I'm not trying to get all of the action figures. He has a couple of the DC ones that I like some onesie twosies. Super Seven with their Toxic Crusader because the original Toxic Crusader cost so much.
Yeah.
So I would get the newer one, the one from Super 7. I never had a problem with Super 7. I like their packaging. Everything looks good. So I would get that. Um, like the Brave Star. I got the Brave Star because the original Brave Star cost so much. So, but to just jump off fully into something new, I mean, something has to come out and just really blow me away to say, oh, yeah, I really want that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Hank says the surprise Inspector Gadget hasn't been
Oh,
redone by
yeah.
Hollywood. Well, remember they tried that live
Didn't they do it?
action.
Oh, yeah, that's what I
It
said.
was
Didn't they do
two, actually, there were two films, live
Really?
action, and it was the same actor as Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
and he also, the significance of that is that the movie version of the action figure,
Mm-hmm.
which was available at McDonald's, it
Mm-hmm.
was the parts,
Mm-hmm.
is the really the original Build-A-Figure, because you had to buy, you got an arm one week, you got a leg another week, and
Mm-hmm.
you put it all together into the worst looking action figure in history.
Oh, wow.
I have it sitting on the floor back there.
Oh, God, you actually got
I
it?
have it because of the historical significance of it, because
Mm.
it technically is the first build a figure. But yeah, if they did it, they'd screw it up. They would screw it all up real bad.
Let me see.
Which one?
Altron.
Altron Kaiju
Mm-hmm. What does he say?
says you wanted to check out the Ghostbusters movie and the Godzilla versus Kong. I have
Oh,
not seen any modern. No, I have not seen any modern Ghostbusters films.
but we saw the Godzilla and Kong
It was
movie.
okay.
Yeah, I like that.
It was okay. Robert says, "What new figures did you buy that felt like it was worth it?" Yeah, the Galactus was all right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Galactus is okay. The who was it? The Mezco Conan and
Mm-hmm.
Death Dealer were really nice figures.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And DeQuaya Mellons says, I wonder if the Mezco Frazetta Conan Death Dealer will maintain their value. King Conan coming from Mezco, the non Frazetta Conan from Super and has gone up. How do you
Mm.
think that happened? I have no idea. Because a lot of Mezcos don't hold up either.
Oh, yeah.
Because they make it, especially if they reissue something, they
Yeah.
do something again. Like they've got several versions of Wolverine, and with each new version of Wolverine, where they expand on it, the old ones
Oh, they tank.
they take a bath.
Mm.
So yeah, they don't hold up too well either. A lot of them. And William says he got a loose complete Sergeant Slaughter steel grave from Star Wars on eBay. And
What's that?
I don't know. And
Mm.
Stone Sour made a donation to the channel, and he put a picture of, is that a kitty?
I don't
I
know
guess
why he
that's for
did
the
that
kitty.
because those cats ain't getting a dime.
Oh, that always goes to the
They're
cat. So
getting thrown out is what they're getting.
she says that, but she loves them as much as I do.
Yeah. Then we got a new one. I don't know if y'all
We
know it.
rescued another one because we went out because there's been a lot of personal issues, and her mother had a stroke and her dad's not doing too well either, and we had to run back and forth to South Carolina, and picked up another stray out there, came running to us out of the woods. Skinny little thing. It wasn't in too bad a condition, but really skinny. And when you show it food, it flips because it's been like forever since it's eaten, I guess.
Yeah.
But she's upstairs now, and she's doing well, doing really well. So we get another one we're trying to take care of.
I'm actually getting the Conan the Adventurer.
That's a cool series.
Yeah, I just got the 2 horses. Somebody on eBay had them fairly cheap. New in the box. And I'm going to work on getting the action figures. And it's really
Yeah.
not that many of them, but I do want to get those. So I'm working on that. Do look nice. Yeah.
And Stone Sour hit us again. He
Thank
says, hit the
you.
like button. Yeah, please, if you don't mind, guys, please do like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
And Gnomsky says, Gloob Inspector Gadget is still one of my most wanted figures. It's 2 versions.
Oh, is it?
One in a blue box and one in a box that looks like a brick wall.
Oh.
And they're expensive. They are expensive. And it's something I'd like to have. I'll show you the other one if you want to see it.
Okay.
'Cause
And get that other Inspector Gadget.
what other Inspector Gadget?
The one you said from Burger
that's
King.
the one I'm getting. I don't have the glue.
Oh. David needs a t-shirt that says they would screw it all up.
Yeah.
LPH get a shirt.
But this thing is
screw it
ugly
all
as
up.
sin. And the hat is absolutely asinine. And it won't stay on. This is it. And you see the hat, and it's just kind of
floats.
Yeah.
Why do those shoulders look so massive?
Because every piece is an actual functional toy.
Oh.
And like this one, the hand.
Let me move this out the way.
Yeah, this is like you press.
It's
the
not
button.
in the screen. Oh Lord!
See what I mean?
Fell off.
Yeah, he's dying.
Oh,
They're all like this. They just fall apart.
Then his chest is like what, a computer?
Yeah, well, Inspector Gadget is a cyborg.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Go Gadget arms and his arms and
this button, you press
Gadget,
the button.
This and that.
You press the button and his hand open and closes. Oh, there we go. There we go. I got it working. See? Isn't that exciting? And it can extend. Well, it's supposed to. There we go. See?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's it. Not as long as it does in the show. But
on the cartoon, Penny and Brain did all the work.
Did all the work, and he just got his behind kicked.
But he just kind of fumbled on everything.
Yeah, and this is the the helicopter cap, but this is essentially what you're looking at is the original Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, that is.
So I got it for the historic value, and you can probably pick this up for $15 or $20.
Oh yeah.
McDonald's prizes, most of them, they made millions upon millions of them. So, and
you better set that down before you break it.
They made millions upon millions of them.
Millions upon millions.
Yeah, they did millions.
What does your book say? Godzilla
King of Monsters
number 2 is worth.
Let me see if it's even in here. I will look.
David, did you fund the Giant Man? I did, and can't wait to pair it with my original Avenger team of Marvel Legends. You guys are the guardian angels for cats, and I loved it. And I love it. Yeah, I mean,
I did not fund that.
Oh yeah, you didn't fund it.
No, I didn't get it. Well, it's not in the old guide.
Do the kitties fight each other? Yeah, they do fight, and they growl and they slap at each other.
Not anything major. It's rare that it comes to blows, but they do back each other down from time to time.
Yeah, and they'll slap each other.
Yeah.
And all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, my mom is doing better, so things with her are coming along. So that's why we feel that. Well, that's why I feel like I got a little more energy and a little more time to do the live streams. Because before, when we were in the think,
King of Monsters.
Yeah, King of Monsters. It seemed like he said number 2. Yeah, number 2. When we were in the thick of things, we were worn out and just tired all the time. So we just didn't have the energy to do anything.
Godzilla King of Monsters number 2, 1989 edition.
Yeah.
$2. No more than $2.
Okay. Stariors? It's a robot mech line from Tomy. It was around in the 80s. All the robots had interchangeable parts.
I have Stariors number 1, and from the comics.
Okay.
And I put a picture of it on the Instagram yesterday because in the first page, the one robot is he has like these 2 blasters like right here, and it's shooting flame and he's melting in a beam. So he's got like blowtorch nipples. and there's this whole big page splash of him doing this and cutting a beam with it, and I thought it would look ridiculous, so I put it on the Instagram like yesterday, coincidentally.
We haven't bought DVDs in a while. I don't even know the last time we bought DVDs or even what it was. It seemed like it might have been a TV box set,
Hmm.
but I'm really not sure because we don't buy DVDs often.
Not too much, yeah. Altron says always magic movie, even if it was a bit corny, and Penny's smartwatch. That's all right.
Yeah.
Sometimes the corny ones are fun, like
Yeah.
Last Dragon. Last Dragon's silly, but that's a fun movie. It really is. And David says you're going to be getting any more Pee Wee Playhouse Adventure. I would like to, while they're still cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have, but I think I have one carded figure left. But I've got the two, because I did the talking doll
Mm-hmm.
in a video last week. And I got the talking doll and the non-talking version, but I don't have any of the other deluxe ones or the carded. I think I have Magic Screen on the card. I don't have anyone else currently. That would be nice, though. First appearance, Dequia Mellon, DC Presents. It was 3,000. I got mine for 1,800. It's now 1,000. I think I may get another one. All CGC 98. Mine is old label, harsher grading. Okay, so it went down.
Yeah.
It bottomed out a little bit.
But it might go back
And, yeah,
up.
it might. And sometimes some of this stuff ebbs and flows. But this is also why you shouldn't buy on spec. Like we've seen some titles take major baths in the last year, like was Savage She-Hulk #1.
Yeah.
Savage She-Hulk #1 sells less now than it did before the hype.
Oh. No, Robert, we don't have any.
That was a good show.
Yeah, it was a very good show, and I do want those figures. And we have seen them, not often, but a couple of times at shows. They're kind of expensive.
Yeah, they are, and not even complete, or the packaging is trashed.
Yeah,
they're rare figures.
They are rare, and the times we've seen them, they weren't complete. I think a couple of them were loose.
We saw one, but the yellow bubble was really yellow and cloudy.
Yeah, you could barely see it.
And she was like, "Nah, I don't want it." Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a line I would like to get into.
Because we watched the whole series.
Yeah, and it was actually pretty good.
It was surprisingly well written and imaginative for what it was.
Yeah,
and they didn't pull any punches, and it's too bad they never finished the episode.
That daddy didn't want to have nothing to do with that boy. He really didn't. Because that was kind of messed up. He knew that boy was coming.
He kept ditching the kid.
Yeah.
He kept ditching the kid. But there was supposed to be a finale, like a 5-part finale. Because what they were going to do was, it was the same people that were producing, I think it was Sunbow Production, right? They because Sunbow, they did the Transformers movie, and they did the G.I. Joe movie. Because when they introduce Globulus and they reveal Cobra Commander's true identity and everything in that one film, because that's a film, it's not a 5-parter. It was a movie that was supposed to go in theaters, but it went directly to VHS after the whole fiasco with Transformers the movie. Transformers the movie, and that's always my argument, better drawn and better written than the show. But everybody hated it because Optimus died. And in the G.I. Joe, Duke was supposed to die, but they changed the ending and put it direct to VHS instead of putting it in theaters for damage control because of the fiasco with the Transformers.
Yeah.
Jason the Wheeled Warriors, it was supposed to be the same thing. It was going to be the 3rd film, and they were going to put it in theaters. But because G.I. Joe went right to VHS because of Transformers, they never produced the script.
Oh.
And so no one ever got to find out how that was going to end. That was going to be the new thing. We'll do a movie to end the series. And Transformers blew it for him because they killed Optimus Prime. But in the Jason the Wheeled Warriors, at the end, of course, the boss gets killed. Right? What did they call him in that film? or in that show.
What?
It was something boss. I'm trying to think of the term they used for the
For that weed,
yeah,
that
for the
plant
villain. Yeah,
thing,
for the
I
villain.
can't remember.
Saw boss.
Saw
It was
boss.
Saw boss. He dies,
Mm-hmm.
and Jace's father also gets killed in the script, because I've
Mm.
seen the script.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a shame that they never produced it.
It was a really good show. Well done, well written, good voice acting. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
but
not sure about the difference on that one, Robert.
mhm.
Hank wants to know if we saw Yellowstone. Never saw Yellowstone.
No.
And yes, Munin, we saw that Best Buy is eliminating all physical media.
Oh
And it
yeah,
doesn't
they've been
surprise
doing
me.
that. Yeah,
Doesn't
that's not
surprise me
surprising.
because they got rid of video games and software and all sorts of things a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Did you remember that cartoon called Mutant League?
That sounds familiar.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if I can't remember specifically, but that does sound familiar.
Never purchased any copies of famous monster magazines.
I don't have any anymore. I had
Mm.
some, but I don't have any anymore.
Hand pink waving chance. Do you own
Pulsar?
Pulsar? Yeah, you got a Pulsar
I do
figure.
have Pulsar.
Mm-hmm.
They only ever produced 2 figures. It was supposed to be a ripoff of the $6 Million Man. I have a sealed Pulsar. I do not have Hypnos.
Yeah.
Hypnos is the villain.
They've been talking about a live action Thundercats for the longest, and it keeps getting dropped.
Yeah. See, this is Pulsar in the box. And that's how you can always tell if it's been opened,
Hold on.
because he comes naked. And he has a package in here with his clothing, and you're supposed to dress him.
Mm.
So he comes nude so that you can see his transparent chest, because he has a button on the back you press to make his heart pump.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he don't even have the pants on in the package. I don't know if you can see down in there, but he's basically naked.
Mm.
And his arch nemesis is Hypnos. And then there's a play set that they made also. It's basically like a surgery table for Pulsar to lay on, but I don't have that. It's a cool toy. It's a cool toy. Anyways,
Yeah.
a lot of companies tried to make stuff to jump on the bandwagon of the $6 Million Man from Kenner while it was popular, and that's one of the examples.
Oh, okay.
Also, who was it? Atomic Man from GI Joe, the guy with the transparent arm and leg.
Mm-hmm.
That's another ripoff of GI Joe. Mighty Max from Tomy, not Mighty Max the little figurine, but Mighty Max from Tomy, the Maximum Man, 1978, I think. Or no, I think it's earlier than that. It might be 1976. Is another one. I mean, it was done a bunch of times.
What do you think about the foil facsimile variants? It's never been done like this. Very pretty. Since it's a low buy in, I can take the loss. What is your opinion?
I mean, they look nice, and it's a nice alternative, and it'd probably look great if it was graded. Keep in mind, something like that can never be cleaned or pressed.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot, because it's a metallic, it's a foil sheen on the outside. So if it gets the slightest bit of a scrape, it's done. You know. Oh yeah, the Atomic. He said they say they have Atomic Man. It's a cool figure. No, we don't. Kenner made the original Knight Rider.
Yeah, I want the Michael Knight and Kit. I have the Jada Metal, a bunch of Jada Metals Knight Rider with Kit, the car, and sometimes they would put the car and the little tiny action figure, but I don't think any of them came with it.
Yeah.
But I would like the original Kit, but he's kind of expensive.
Yeah, Kenner came with Kit and a 5 points articulation Michael Knight figure, and then he was also sold separately in a box.
Yeah,
there's 2 versions of it. There's the American version and a Japanese version.
What's the Japanese version?
A red box with Japanese lettering on it.
Okay. So no different in the.
I don't.
I mean, in the.
I don't remember if it came carded in the U.S.
Okay.
Because that's not a figure you see. It's not something you see often, and it's pretty expensive when it comes up.
Yeah.
Actually, the Kenner Knight Rider, because that's a one-shot kind of deal, and then it didn't sell, so they just kind of let it go. You know how that works. It's kind of like how the Dukes of Hazzard line from Mego just had a one run.
Yeah, it was only like the 4 characters, and they didn't even do Roscoe.
No, but they did the 3 3/4 inch figures also at the same
Yeah.
time. But they only did that as one run, and that I think is more closely associated with the Saturday morning cartoon than it is with the live action show.
Mm-hmm. Do you have that vintage GI Joe helicopter?
Oh, from the 70s.
Yeah.
Giant yellow helicopter. Oh, Gunshy wants to know. You know what?
You got it?
Hold on a second.
I think David has it. I thought it was black.
There is a black one.
Okay, so there is a black one, Robert.
The black one is a lot more expensive.
Really?
Yeah, the black one is a tough one. Loose, it's like almost $1,000 if you can find it complete.
Oh, wow. Oh, that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, am I in the way?
The G.I. Joe Adventure Team helicopter.
I like the artwork on the box.
Hasbro's always had fantastic artwork for their stuff.
Hold on, let me get that out of the way so people can see. Now you can see good.
There's a piece of dust on the bottom there. It was on the bottom shelf.
Did they ever make Bernstein? No, they did not make Bernstein Bears action figures.
Well, they
got the McDonald's toys.
They're the only ones that ever did it.
McDonald's toys.
Berenstein Bears.
Yeah.
And it's like only the neck is jointed, but they're flocked. But yeah, you can find, if you look at McDonald's Berenstein Bears, you can find them. They did the 4 of them.
Yeah, I have those, and they came with little accessories. They have the plushies, of course. They got the plushies, but that family didn't allow a lot of franchising.
Yeah, it's family-owned business, and they didn't like merchandising too much.
If you and David could choose for each other a character to cosplay, who would you guys decide on? I got Monica Rambeau and David as Man-at-Arms. We would do Michonne and Rick. We always said if we were, but you know the one I want to do, the couple from Saga, with the guy, he got the horns and then the lady got the that one, or Michonne and Rick. We always said if we were to go to like a cosplay or a Halloween party, we would do that. We would do that one. So that's the one we would do.
Yeah.
If you're collecting the multi origins vehicles, Walmart did. Now I do want to point, Dread. I do have the vehicles. Walmart has them, and sometimes with the Talent Fighter. Our Walmart doesn't have it for $25. They got it for $30.
All the Walmarts, the employees have to go around and do the markdowns. It's not automatic,
and it's whatever they think that day. David is the king of G.I. Joe. He probably he doesn't have.
I don't have the flag.
I want him to have one.
I wouldn't know where to set it up.
You don't need to. Just have it. Just push it under the table. Put it under the bed.
See. Now that's support. That is support right there.
I do like the flag. I've seen it, and I've seen like people customize it. You know, they put a stand underneath it.
Yeah.
And it all, I'm gonna say it always looks good, but the ones I've seen looks really good. And when we go to, I know Joe Fest and I think Toylanta is a company there, and they have a custom flag, and I've videotaped it a couple of times.
Yeah.
And they've customized it so that you can, get the most out of it. And they did some other things with it, and it looks good.
Yeah, I've got the Terrordrome and I've got the Mobile Command Center.
Oh,
Mobile Command Center is right here, actually. And I would like to find, before I worry about a flag, a Defiant.
Yeah, he's been talking about that Defiant.
That's another really hard one now.
It's never 100%. From your entire collection, which toy line are you most excited to cover in your toy history series? You got a toy history series?
Well, I mean, I call it that because if you're talking about it, it is kind of toy history. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of hard to say because I got a lot of odd stuff. Probably things that like resonate more so with childhood. Like one that I liked talking about was this one.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the silliest thing. It's the processed plastics Apollo moon
Okay,
rocket.
hold on, move this out the way.
And this is the kind of stuff, and it came carded, and this is unpunched, actually. That is a punch out right there. That's a
Mm-hmm.
tag it, they call it. But this is, you would buy this in Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Or I mean not Walmart, Woolworth or something like that. And this one is actually from Woolworths, and they made these in the 70s. And you know, the play value of stuff like this, and actually there it is. Well, Woolworths, $1.59.
Mm-hmm.
I played with this thing forever. The play value of stuff like this is incredible. So, you know, it's something that has a strong connection from childhood. I had this same rocket, but the colors were reversed. And so
Okay.
my astronauts were white, and processed plastics did that. They would do this stuff in different colors. So I did a video on that one a long time ago. But stuff like that that like really resonates to childhood sticks pretty well.
I like Neil Adams, Baker. What's that guy name?
I like Plug.
And what's the one that does the romance a lot? You got in the horror. You got one of his stuff recently. He's really expensive
Oh
just
God,
because of
what
who
was
he
his
is.
name?
Can't
I
think
know
of
who
him.
you're talking about. I know who you're talking
And
about.
then one named Baker.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of artists, honestly. I know those. I know about 3 or 4,
Uh-huh.
and I kind of recognize it when I see it. Outside of that, I'm not big on all that. If the cover looks good, the artwork looks good, and it's kind of telling me a story just by me looking at it, I'm good with that. David's more. He knows a lot of artists.
I do.
You can't remember the guy. I want you to remember right now, though.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drawing a blank. Oh, I
Oh.
should be Doctor Strange.
Catwoman.
And Catwoman, that would be strange. You'd be the Eartha Kitt Catwoman.
Did you ever have any Dino Riders?
I didn't see the animated movie. No, I don't have Dino Riders. I don't think I ever. I
Oh,
don't think I
really?
did. I don't think I did have Dino Riders actually. And it's
That's
the
right.
Dino Riders in Bone Age. And
That's
William says,
yeah, you got it. And
Orange
that's
Eternia. I can't
yeah,
set it up, but I have it. Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
And most people don't have it. So
Huh.
they can say what they want to say. You
Yeah.
got it at least. Hasbro is always a like and dislike company, pretty complicated. Yeah, it seems like most of these companies are on that. I love the G.I. Joe
Dreadnoughts.
Dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
Seem like most of these companies are like that now.
Yeah. Well, it kind of hurts that they franchise out all over the place, because once upon a time, Star Wars, Kenner, that's it.
Yeah.
Unless they allowed another company overseas to produce the same exact figures, not variations, not different sizes, but the same figures, like Palitoy.
Yeah.
Or Hasbro, it's G.I. Joe. That's it. Mattel had Brave Star, and that's it. Not 10 people making it, not 10 different companies doing it.
What?
Getting trunks for Superman, no way they're doing that without. Oh, I don't know. I think we lost something there.
Yeah, I think something got.
Oh, he's answering Robert online.
Oh, okay.
They're a little cross
conversation.
there.
Okay.
And Hank is, I guess, surprised that you would want me to have the flag. You have permission to get it now to go and find one. Yeah, it's still expensive, and it's one of those things. It's not necessarily a supply and demand thing because they're out there.
Yeah, every show you go to, you see at least you see at least one, sometimes 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So they're there. It's just do you have the money for it?
They know they can get you.
Yeah,
is what it is. It's like, and then how complete is it also? Because with the Terradrome, I put off a bunch of Terradromes, and I waited forever. Oh, Patrick is here. Glad you could join us today, Patrick. Because I wanted one complete, because if you had to part out anything, it's going to get expensive.
Yeah.
And I don't want 3D printed anything. So I had to get it all in one piece, or not at all. A lot. But actually, we just did a video about that.
Yeah.
Like a couple of weeks back, we did a video talking about some of our collecting goals for this year, not counting grails,
Mm-hmm.
but just stuff that's realistic for us to find. Things that we
Yeah.
know it's within a proper price range. Like one of the things I mentioned was the Fisher Price Muppets stick puppet action figures. It's the only vintage Muppets action figures you can find from 1979, and I need one piece to
Mm-hmm.
complete that series. And they're pretty neat little toys. Things like that, stuff that I know that it's not too expensive. Because again, I've got like I'm missing two things from Inhumanoids.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be expensive if unless I get really lucky, which fortunately we have been,
Yeah.
because we look at the toy hunting or even the comic hunting as targets of opportunity. We don't walk in specifically looking for, I'm only going to get this. It's if we see something that we know would fit or that completes something or goes with something and the price is right, that's your target of opportunity. And we'll jump on that and, just build as we can
Yeah.
rather than knock ourselves out trying to get stuff that, because otherwise, decompose mint in the box from Inhumanoids, it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
And a carded liquidator. My other three carded Inhumanoids fake action figures, the human figures, are mint unpunched cards.
Mm.
How much do you think liquidator is going to cost unless I just knock one out of the park? It's going to be hard.
Yeah. I thought about stopping buying anything and just completing the lines that I already have.
Mm.
I thought about taking that approach, but again, when you go to shows, sometime you'll find a piece you need, sometime you don't. Sometimes you see some, oh man, I forgot all about this. I didn't know this was there, or
Yeah.
so then you end up starting something new. I like going and finding something that I need because at least you're kind of keeping it together. But I don't mind going on eBay or Macari
Yeah.
and finding pieces because a lot of the stuff that both me and David get, you don't even find it at the shows.
Yeah, you can't.
Or sometimes if they are at the shows, they're loose.
Yeah, or
So,
sometimes you get surprised. Like
hmm
last year at was it the Joe Lanta? The Mark's Safari Adventure Gorilla and Crocodile in the
hmm
box,
hmm
and you never even see Mark Safari stuff loose.
Yeah,
I've
at these
never seen
shows.
anything Mark Safari at any show for years and years. And
hmm
then this guy had four pieces, and two of them I don't have,
Yeah.
and negotiated with him, and he gave me a really good price because quite frankly, because it was coming here, and he
Yeah.
was like, "Okay, I know you're not going to sell it. I'll give you a real decent deal here." It means a lot sometimes to some of these guys if they know you're not trying to flip it or get over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Hey, who a lot of people know who we are." And he was like,
Mm.
"No, I'll tell you what I'll do." And I was like, "I'll take it because I'll never see those again." So you never know.
Yeah.
And Panther says the museum collection is amazing. Do you ever sit back and admire it to fully appreciate it? I know Pixel Dan spoke highly of it. Yeah, he was here for a while. He was here. Brandon was here. New Two Vero 2 was here.
hmm
Um, a couple of I can't remember the
Brett.
names off the top of my head.
Brett was
Brett,
here.
yeah,
And it was these two
the cosplayers,
cosplayers, but I don't know.
the Motu cosplayers that go
Yeah, they were Shira and who?
Tila,
Oh, Tila.
Tila and Merman.
Oh yeah, the guy was
They
Merman.
played Tila and Merman professionally.
hmm
And yeah, he was here for a while. He had a good time. But yeah, we do. I mean,
Yeah.
we spend a lot of time down here. We read down here. We
Listen
spin
to
we
music.
spin the vinyl down here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we love it. This is our sanctuary. This is our
It's a
sanctuary down
collector.
here.
You get a gold medal.
A
Oh,
gold medal.
thank you.
And just for anybody who's new here, I'll pan here real quick, and you see it goes way back because it's this room is 30 by 15.
hmm
Is 30 by 15, so it goes way back and into the next room there. You can't see because the lights are off.
That's our wall with all of the cards and letters that people
Yeah,
sent.
when
That's a
people
door.
Yeah, that's a
actually,
door.
but we put
And
it there.
people send us things sometimes to our
Yeah.
PO box, and we put those up there. And then we got some of these middle displays because this is just those are like middle units that are
Hmm.
between. Like this is not where it ends; it goes further back. Those are like mobile display units.
Yeah, that we got from stores that were going out of business. They sell their furniture or display racks.
Yeah,
Okay, so John likes Jack Kirby, Joe Kubert,
yeah.
Larry Hannah,
Oh,
and
Boris. Yeah,
Boris somebody. He's a comic book artist I grew up on.
LB Cole.
That's that guy named L.B.
LB
Cole
Cole.
and Baker.
Yeah,
I don't know his name though, but
because I got
Baker.
I got at a comic show. What was it, a couple of months
Yeah.
ago?
Hmm.
That LB Cole, really nice book. It was beat to death though. It looked
You
terrible.
got one. That's the one you recently got.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then you
and I
cleaned and
cleaned and
pressed
pressed
it.
it. You can't even tell it's the same book now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I even sent a picture of it to the guy, and he's like, "Oh my god,"
Yeah.
because presentation is everything, I guess.
Actually, the wrestlers and a lot of the Masters of the Universe figures are not moving
Yeah,
off
they're
of the
not moving at
shelf.
all.
Um, and like we said before, the Ninja Turtle stuff, they're not going anywhere.
Well, the wrestlers too.
Hmm.
I mean, how many of the same exact figure can you print? How many John Cena's do you need?
But then, like, I saw this one guy on YouTube. He's a big wrestler. I think that's basically all he
Collector.
collects.
Yeah.
Um, they make every outfit they ever wore. And then people like Macho Man, people like Ric Flair had every time they came out, they had on a new fit, a new outfit.
Yeah.
So then they would make a figure of that outfit. So he showed, okay, this is all John Cena, this is all Randy Savage, this is all Ric Flair, because they made so many of them. So it's like, wow. I got a few of the wrestlers like some years back, but I kind of quit with that. I don't really mess with the wrestlers anymore. Any guest stars this year? No, I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, we'll see because
Yeah, we try to reach out to people.
yeah, because Dan will be in the area in like what, July,
Yeah,
and he might. We'll see. It depends on the scheduling
yeah.
because he's going to be busy.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that works out. But
Yeah.
he's welcome. And
Chuck,
yeah, Chuck Norris. That's right. That's the complete Kenner Chuck Norris line. I have all of it,
yeah.
the whole series. And then David says, "Have you guys ever had any older collectors contact you and have you come get first dibs on the collection, like storages or anything like
No,
that?"
we
Not
wish.
really.
We want some too,
No.
but no.
And they end up selling out to some dealer for 10 cents on the dollar, and
Mm-hmm.
then crying in their cereal. It's
I
the
remember
truth.
when you upgraded your lighting and everything looks so much better. You don't have too many dim spots. Lighting,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. We did a lot to try to figure out. Lighting is always hard, especially if you don't have the lighting.
Yeah.
We were lucky that we have drop ceilings, so we were able to find like these um like portable lights
Mm-hmm.
and cut holes in the drop ceiling to put it in there to make it look like those ceiling lights.
Yeah, the four corner lights I
Yeah.
installed.
But I mean, we can probably use about two more in the middle because there is a couple of dark spots in the middle along the sides. But yeah, we tried real hard to make it a nice and pleasant area so we could just sit and hang out. Like we said, we listen to music, we read our comic books. Sometimes you just sit here, and I know for me, I'll stare at a wall and like, okay, how can I make these these fit better on the wall? Because it's like about two walls that I really don't like. I don't
Yeah.
like how the things are on there, but because of the size and the amount, it's not too much you could do. So we're always looking for ways to move things around. How can I get a couple of more figures in there? Is it time for me to take this down and put something else up? So it's a lot that goes into it, but it's fun. It's all fun. To me,
Yeah,
it's all fun.
yeah, we enjoy it. And Altron says, "Love the Shoguns.
Hmm.
Need to get the first release of the Godzilla and the Jumbosaurus."
You don't
Yeah,
have a
I
Jumbosaurus.
don't have. Well, Jumbosaurus is the original Popey version of the Godzilla. They call it
Mm-hmm.
Jumbosaurus, and it looks more like Godzilla than those do. Um, but and it talks.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pull string talker. Well, it's a pull. You pull the string and it growls and grunts. But that's pretty cool. Of course, it was only sold in Japan, so that's the
Okay.
issue. And anything that was sold in Japan in the 70s, oh, that's going to hurt your wallet. That's going to hurt.
Yeah. Stone Sour got the Hasbro wrestling fig, WWS fig.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 25. I got a
25
few
of
of
them.
those in the Jacks and all of that. I thought Mattel, oh, okay, might be Hasbro. I thought Mattel did those, but something. For me, the Kirby and Frazetta. I
Mm-hmm.
like Frazetta. I
Yeah.
like that cartoon he did, Fire and Ice. That
Oh,
was
yeah, yeah,
really
yeah.
good. If you haven't seen it, it's on Tubi.
It's worth taking a look at.
Yeah, it was well done. You both should be. Yeah, somebody else
Somebody
said that.
suggested that.
I
I don't
don't.
know how you go about doing that.
Yeah, somebody else suggested, and we looked into it. They come and they tour and they offer to buy something, or you sell them something. I don't know. Yeah,
It's all fun. We enjoy it. We
I
enjoy
like
it.
setting the room up. I like setting up the shelves. I really
Mm-hmm.
do. I don't like taking them down and packing them up, but I like setting the stuff up on the shelf.
I do not have the original Storm Shadow. I used to, and that's I
Mm.
had it loose and carded. I had everything American versions, anyways, loose and carded once upon a time, and lost almost all of that. But the Storm Shadow, I lost the loose and the carded one that I had.
Hmm. The most fun you can have with the toys, if you're not going to bang them together each other, is organizing. Yeah, I like organizing them. Do you guys read GI Joe comics?
Not for a long time. I haven't.
Mm-mm. I have some of the original ones, and some of the newer ones, but I haven't read any yet. Do you guys think you will ever turn your music? No.
Well, that would involve having to rent a location
Mm-hmm.
and then setting it up there and hoping the stuff doesn't get stolen or trashed or that
Yeah.
nobody bothers to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Lunchbox Museum, ain't nobody there.
Micronauts Comics #1. Oh, I guess they want you to look it up.
Oh, look up Micronauts number
Yeah,
one.
Comics #1.
Micronauts number one. I have number one.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, Micronauts. I have some Micronauts too. I
Oh,
got
yeah,
one.
you got some of the toys.
There's one sitting right there.
Yeah.
Actually,
Hmm.
let me see. Micronauts. That's going to be cheap.
You think so?
I know it will
It's
be.
not that expensive now,
No,
is
it's
it?
not that expensive now.
I didn't
But
think so. Because it seems like I see that one a lot at shows and like
mhm.
$5 bin, dollar bin.
Hmm.
Hmm. Let's see.
Well, it is not in the 1981 edition.
Okay.
So we'll look in the 1989 edition.
John tried to showcase my collection to the showrunner for Collector's Call, but she didn't feel the that a restroom interior would be an appropriate venue for their show.
Oh, I
Oh
see.
no. So you did call and contact somebody.
Or is he being silly?
You probably being funny.
1989, Micronauts number one, mint copy, $2.50.
Oh, okay. $2.50.
I think you could still get it for that.
Do you have anything that wasn't lost to you? Do you still have any toys that you didn't get lost?
Yeah, the majority of my loose GI Joes,
Right.
but of the 3 3/4 inch, the Ara, the ones that are in the Terradrome and in the headquarters
Mm-hmm.
are my original ones,
Okay.
except the Storm Shadow and a few others are missing from the loose. All the carded ones are gone. I still had a handful of the original 60s and 70s Joe's loose and boxed. A lot of them were lost, but I still managed to hold on to some original ones, including the original four unplayed with, and early Joes, baby feet versions. If you know, you know. So yeah, I have a handful. There's a smattering of things that survived, survived that situation.
If you know that relationship is getting rocky, you need to sell your stuff to an understanding friend and be like, "Here, hold on to this. Give
Yeah,
me three,
I didn't
$4."
have a chance.
Yeah, but see, you can kind of feel and see when things are,
Yeah,
them waves getting a little rough.
no, I don't have the hydrocopter. I don't have any vehicles.
Oh, you don't have any
No, I just
vehicles?
got a couple of figures floating around. I got that one on the card. I used to have more, but I don't have them.
Wham recently got a part. Well, if that's what you got to
That's what you
do,
got to do.
you know, you got to pay for that stuff, and people are always be like, you should spend your money on something else." Well, they know. Do most of the house near you guys have basements? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
most
we're
of them
not
do.
that close to where the water table drops off because depending upon the water table in certain areas, they won't let you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Atlanta got a lot of basements. I mean, of course, there are many houses without basements, but the majority of the houses got basements, and we'll always get a house with a basement.
Yeah,
Um, so that not only for our collection, but we do the sewing, we got the gym, you got all kinds of stuff. So the extra space can always come in handy.
yeah,
Vintage micronauts are nutty. The vehicles seem low, but the individual figures are in good condition.
yeah. And I got like one sitting here
They thought
on the
it
card.
was odd for someone to keep their prized collection in two suitcases under a restroom sink. I told them that I kept an airwick spray can in there if they were worried. In a suitcase in the bathroom sink. That's the only. I thought you had some more like micronauts in little boxes or something.
No, I don't. I don't have very much. I'd like to, but there's a you can only spread yourself so thin
Hmm.
because I got lines started and stopped all over the place.
Yeah, that's why I've been thinking about it, because we talked about it on the video where we talked about our collecting goals, and I really don't know the direction I want to go in. But the more and more I think about it, I kind of want to take a pause and work on the stuff that I have. I have
Yeah,
a few collections like my Beetlejuice, my Defenders of the Earth. I only need two figures, and that'll be finished because I'm not going to get any of the vehicles unless I can find them dirt cheap. Conan the Adventurer. I think I'm done with Captain Planet. I have the first wave, and that's good enough for me.
yeah. The
And
second wave is real expensive
yeah,
because
for whatever reason.
it was canceled. They didn't produce much,
Yeah.
and
Whoa.
DCO and oh no, that's not the price. It's 1 million BC is the name of the series,
Oh,
and it's
okay.
caveman figures made by Mego.
From that comic strip?
No,
Oh, okay.
but you can find them carded. They're rare. They don't go for too much. Mint on the card, maybe 100, $150 if you
Mm-hmm.
catch it on an auction.
Mm-hmm.
No, he don't have a coffin, Robert,
Mm.
or a sarcophagus.
Okay.
And Munin said the summer's going to be insane for them figure wise. Tamashii Nations is starting 4 new lines. Oh
Wow.
my.
Night
Night
Stalker.
Stalkers, number one.
I
Night
think I
Stalkers.
have Night Stalker #1.
Do you?
I know I have Night Stalkers. I think I have #1.
Let's see if I can find it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do with my collection is kind of work on the stuff that I already have and try to get that stuff finished and see where we go from there. And then I want to kind of revamp my area, put up some new stuff.
Huh.
It got some things that's just been up for a long time. And your vintage Motu who is your
It's-
favorite face?
It's
Okay.
not in either book.
Oh, really?
Nope.
When did that come out? Isn't that like a Bronze Age book, a 70s book?
I don't think so. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
keep in mind it's a 1981 and a 1989 edition I have here.
Yeah, could not tell
Uh-huh.
if he was grinning or frowning. Like the Mona Lisa origin still did not capture it fully. I never thought about the face. I
Because
mean,
he's grimacing. He's like,
I thought he was smiling.
uh-huh.
I don't know. Let's see.
Oh,
We
that's a
got
good
another
one.
one.
That's a good one.
Tomb of Dracula #1. I don't think I have Tomb of Dracula #1. I got
No, you
almost
have
a
Tomb of Dracula.
yeah, I got almost a whole thing. I'm almost done with that one.
Let's
Okay, so
see
you're looking that up.
here.
And we didn't have Captain Planet when I was a kid. We just had Woodsy the Owl and the Crying Indian. Oh, that's the Indian with the trash.
Yeah, and he would have a tear.
Yeah. Smurfs #1. I bought a bunch of Smurfs at the last show that I was at. Somebody had a bunch that wasn't bad. I like the 1/6 scale Chuck Norris. Love put him next to Rambo and Arnold.
All right, Tomb of Dracula is not in the 1981.
Really, I know that's a Bronze
Yeah,
Age book.
it's not in there. They missed that one.
I guess it wasn't popular enough.
I guess. I'll look in the 1989.
Mm-hmm.
See if it's there.
Some plastic army men. Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Tomb
Okay.
of Dracula #1, 1989. Mint, $1.20.
Wow.
Mid-range condition, 60 cents.
Smurfs. You better look that up.
Oh,
as well.
Smurfs #1.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
I doubted if it'll be in the
You just
other
got
one.
that, yeah. We just got that recently.
That's what I'm saying. It was at the show. I didn't pay that much. I think it was in the dollar bin. It wasn't.
No. It was when I bought that Smurf lot.
Yeah.
He had the bag. It
was a bag
first
of them.
3 issues
Mhm.
in a cello bag, and I said, I asked if he would throw that in with it so I could give it to my wife, and he said yes. So.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. They didn't make Smurf action figures. Now that'll be something cool, like if Super 7
Yeah,
did
they
it.
did.
Not them little figurines.
No.
I'm talking
there's
about
a jointed version. I'll show you in a second because I have one.
like 5 inches or something.
Yeah,
5,
hold
6
on.
inches.
Hold on, I'll show you.
I know they did the pops because I bought all those. That's when I was in the pops, though.
Mhm. Smoky. Okay, Smurfs.
Mm-hmm.
Smurfs #1, 60 cents. 30 cents in mid-grade.
Any classic TV mascots like Smokey the Bear? You don't have TV mascots, but you have like Ronald McDonald and Burger King guy. What's that?
That is a Peyo Smurf action figure. Hold on a second.
Okay.
I want to say they made those in 1985.
Oh yeah, and it is jointed.
Yeah.
Do you have any TV mascots? And then the feet. So 5 parts of
5
articulation.
points. Yeah, 5 points articulation.
Okay, and it's just a little bit bigger. Okay. You got any TV mascots?
Not really.
I didn't think I seen any.
Unless you're talking about commercial stuff like that, like Hawaiian Punch and like the scrubbing bubbles and things like
and
that.
like the Raid. He got the Raid.
Commercial advertising kind of stuff. I have a few pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I like that kind of stuff.
Someone said that there was supposed to be a live action movie for Chuck Norris Karate Commando, but that none of the stunt actors wanted to get kicked into
He's just joking,
the afterlife. I remember I had the Smokey the Bear.
Yeah,
action
Tonka.
figure.
I think it was Tonka. Tonka and Marks did that. Marks had a Yellowstone or Jellystone playset with with a yogi, and then there was also or not yogi, but yeah, Smokey the Bear. They did have a yogi Jellystone
Mm-hmm.
Jellystone playset, but yeah, I think Tonka made it, and it was Smokey the Bear with a jeep. It
Oh,
was
okay.
a little figure. It's like 2 inches tall, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And
And then Dakin made an 8-inch vinyl action figure that came in a cello bag
oh,
in the
okay.
70s.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, we are well. It's not that late. We've been on for about 2.5 hours, but
Mm-hmm.
we do have some things that we need to get to. So we will go ahead and sign off. And John wants to know about Big Jim. Yeah, Big Jim is very popular and very expensive now.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
thank everybody for joining us. And the next time I'll get out the vintage toy price guide.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
then
we'll look up some different
and
toys.
then you'll really get sick to your stomach because some of the
Yeah.
prices in there are like don't even make sense. But not that guides ever do. Never go by price guides for current values. Never, because they're always wrong anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, thanks to everybody who joined us here this evening. Thanks Stone Sour for making donations for the kittens.
Yeah, we really
Always
appreciate that.
appreciated because
Mm-hmm.
we go through a ton. We probably go through about 3 pounds of cat food a day with all the shelter cats we're taking care of, trying to get them rehomed and working with the vet and everything.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to go ahead and sign off. We will be doing this again. Glad you could join us, and glad that everything is looking and sounding good.
Yeah.
That's very much very important to us that we do a good presentation. So we will see you again soon.